Perhaps it was foolishness that drove me to begin. Perhaps arrogance. But in this journey, I found pieces of myself again. And maybe we can find yours as well.
Long ago, a child gazed upon a great work. This work was of another child, as they traversed many worlds, stopping darkness's hold upon the lands he traveled. The gazing child fell in love with this work, let it taking root deep within their very being. Little did the gazing child know that this work would continue to return to them, year after year. As the work continued, the gazing child aged, and they slowly realized the flaws this work held, growing ill of it. When the final crescendo of this work was achieved, the gazing child had now become a man. The man saw this crescendo and found it lamentable. In that moment, the man, in a fit of rage, cast away the work he once held so dear to him, vowing to never return to it again. But little did the man know he would return to the work once more.
Kingdom Hearts, a series near and dear to my own heart. When I first saw this game, it was at the local Blockbuster we go to after my piano lessons. And among all the games there, Kingdom Hearts jumped out at me with its striking box art. I picked it up and went, hey, why are Donald and Goofy with these anime kids? This might have driven some kids away, but me? I just had to know. And what I discovered was an insane crossover between Disney and Final Fantasy. Though at the time, my experience with Final Fantasy was limited to a very scratched rental of Final Fantasy X, where the game would freeze after Titus kicked a ball at Waka. Good times. But I knew Disney. You tend to learn what Disney is when you're 5. But now I have much more Final Fantasy knowledge, some of which I wish I could forget.
Pulse Falsey and Lassie are bad news. That's why Cocoon kicked them out. Live too close to the Falsey, one-way ticket to Pulse. That's the Purge in a nutshell.
Who wrote this shit? And in a way, I appreciate it far more about this game than I did as a kid. The premise is still madness, and yet because of that madness, the appeal is there. So let us dive in and see what makes Kingdom Hearts so extremely special. We select Standard Mode because it's been many moons since I last played. Then we get an opening with the very famous song Simple and Clean, which I cannot play. It may have been 23 years, but Squeenix still despises when you play this song, and most of the music in all the Kingdom Hearts series for that matter. Shout out to nearly all of my mods getting muted for the entire series. Thanks, Squeenix! Getting past this, our main boy lands on top of a mysterious pillar with a stained glass window of snow white. Here we're guided by a mysterious voice and learn basic movement before being told to select a power we want, between either a sword, shield, or rod. And after choosing one, we then have to discard another between the two we didn't select. This will determine our starting stats and the abilities we learn throughout the run. Here's the abilities for those that want to make an informed decision, and I'll leave a link in the description for those that want it. In my case, I chose the rod and discarded the shield for that real glass cannon experience. The pillars then collapse, leading us to another, this time with Cinderella. Remember this, it'll be on the test. Here we get to learn the fun stuff. Violence! Attacking in Kingdom Hearts is pretty straightforward. Just select the attack option, hit the X button, and our boy will attack. Easy. You can also press R1 to lock onto an enemy so they don't leave your sight. There's more to it, but I'm going to save that for later when we have a bit more to chew on. Keeping it moving, we beat up some of these ants before getting sucked into the darkness. It doesn't kill our boy, instead it leads into another tutorial, this time about items and interactions. Pressing our favorite button on the PlayStation controller, we get some free stuff before opening this door, getting to the strangest part about Kingdom Hearts 1. Titus, Waka, and Selphie are here, now in more childlike forms than their original Final Fantasy counterparts. But that is not the weird part. They ask us some deep questions like, what we want out of life? What are we afraid of? What are the numbers on the back of Mom's credit card? Wait a minute. After choosing our answers, we're then told when our journey is going to begin. Dawn, midday, or dusk. This doesn't tell you anything, but it's actually extremely important. It's your EXP curve for the run. Dawn levels up faster at the first 50 levels, but slows down at the last 50, with dusk being the opposite. Midday's right in the middle with an even curve the whole way. I picked midday for this playthrough, though part of that is because I completely forgot what this entire section meant. It's not really great at telling you what this does. With that, we go back to the pillars, fight a few more ants, and then finally get to save the game at this save point, which also restores our HP and MP for free. We can finally access the pause menu, thank God. Pro tip, you cannot access the pause menu during fights, so make sure your affairs are in order. And with ours in order, we head up here and get told that the closer we get to light, the greater our shadow is. We then turn around, our shadow tears itself from the floor. Our boy then steps back in fear, which makes the shadow get real beefed up, like just real swole, goddamn. This is our first boss fight, Darkside. Now I'll talk about the combat in depth. First off, we have a menu down here. Using the D-pad, we can change which option is selected. Pressing X does that action or opens a sub-menu in the case of items and magic, though we don't have magic just yet, so let's save that for later. As for attack, repeatedly pressing it makes our boy do a combo, which has, for now, 3 hits. The last hit is a finisher, which does big damage and has good reach. Something I'd also like to point out now is that, we can't block or dodge at the moment. It's not that big a deal, but it does kind of suck when muscle memory kicks in and instead of defending yourself, you just take a hit to the face. The other thing I want to take the time to talk about is tech points. Killing enemies is the only way to get XP. You can also do special actions to give you experience as well, such as deflecting an enemy's attack with your own. In the case of Darkside, it's by hitting him in the head with a finisher. It's actually quite satisfying to do and shows that even in the first game, Kingdom Hearts was able to do some more complex things with its combat system, and even encourage you to find its mechanics by awarding you points for doing so. I like tech points a lot. Sadly, they disappear as the series goes on, but I really enjoy their addition here. And after hitting Darkside in the head enough to concuss a small city, we beat him. But he drags us into the darkness, yet we're told not to worry as we have the strongest weapon of all. We're not told what that is, and we're going to open the door. We don't know what that is either. Yep, this is Kingdom Hearts alright. We then wake up on the beach. Seems it was all just a dream. Oh my god, women are real! Here we're finally introduced to our main character, Sora, as well as Kairi and Riku. The three of them live on this little island, Destiny Islands. Wait, why is it plural? Sora tells Kairi about his dream, but of course she doesn't believe him and just resorts to hitting him in the head for some tech points. Afterwards, Sora asks if Kairi remembers anything about her hometown. She doesn't, but she'd like to see it again one day, and so would Sora, as well as seeing the other worlds out there. Riku then chimes in, saying he's the only one building the raft before throwing up the whole ass log at Sora. But with the spirit of adventure running through all of them, they have a quick race before working on the raft once again. We get some items that Kairi asks us to get so we can finish the raft, which allows us to safely explore the Destiny Islands. Honestly, this whole intro section is really nice. We get to meet the main cast, see how the three of them interact, and while there's some friendly competition as we go on, the three of them do clearly care for each other. There's a lot of instances of Sora wanting to break free of Riku's shadow since he's viewed as the cool one, and, you know, they are kids after all. Speaking of, we can also talk to Waka, Selphie, and Titus in order to challenge them to a friendly fight. You can also challenge Riku, but he is really hard to fight right now, and each time you lose, you see the score go up against you. This doesn't actually affect anything, but it does get you in the mindset of Sora. Yeah, Sora, I also want to beat Riku's ass. This fight is ridiculous. But since we have everything, we hand them to Kairi, who gives us a high potion as thanks. We have a nice sit in this big old palm tree, and the trio talks about what could be beyond the island they live on. Riku even wonders why they're on the island, if there are other worlds out there, and if there are, then the one they're living in must be part of something greater. But as the trio goes home, Riku tosses Sora a Paopu fruit, which is said that if two people share it, their destinies become intertwined. Sora acts like he doesn't know what Riku means, but Riku insists that he knows Sora wants to try it, and Sora just yeets that fruit away. Rip Paopu fruit. Then we hard cut to fucking Disney Castle, baby. I love corporations, please don't sue me. This place also plays the Mickey Mouse March on loop forever, and let me tell you, we had to play that almost every day in my music class at high school, so this song sets off a primal rage within me. In the castle, Donald Duck is here looking like a wizard. Goes to the throne room and greets the king of the castle. Oh, he's gone. Of course. But Pluto is here and he has a letter with Mickey's head on it. Reading it sends Donald into a Donald. And he runs into the garden to find Goofy looking like a knight. Donald tries to explain the situation quietly, but we all know how that goes.
Oh, good morning, ladies!
I'm sure it's nothing serious. Back to the island. Today we're getting food for the journey, which consists of a single plate of breakfast food. These kids are gonna die at sea. We're also giving access to the backside of the island with a race we can participate in against Riku, where the winner gets to name the raft. I had my chat name it Beagle. Riku then pulls a fast one on Sora by saying whoever wins the race gets to share a Palpo fruit with Kairi, which Kairi somehow doesn't hear despite being like a meter away. Let's not worry about that. Let's crush Riku under our big clown shoes. Pay for yesterday, you little shit. This'll show you. Yeah, take that, child. The 28-year-old adult just kicked your ass. Man, you suck, Riku. But we get back to gathering food, even showing off this bug here. Perfect. That's the good shit. We also enter this cave that has lots of drawings of lands the trio have imagined. Sora even has a flashback to when he and Kairi drew each other in the cave. Aw, he does care. He just can't process his emotions because he's a child. It's okay, Sora. I'm 28 and I also struggle with processing emotions. But before we can leave, a guy wearing a brown cloak speaks some mysterious words at us about a door to the world in the darkness. Ooh. Sora asks who the flipping flip he is since we've never seen him before, with Sora even guessing he might be from another world. But the cloak that walks like a man says we know nothing and refuses to elaborate, of course. But when the door is mentioned, Sora turns to it before turning back with the cloaked man mysteriously disappearing. Sorry, Sora, Island's haunted. Since our collection of foodstuffs is done, we head over to Kairi and prep it for the journey. When we do, Kairi shows off the wayfinder charm she's making. Maybe this way the three of them will always be able to find each other. But enough about that, Kairi. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Okay, it doesn't go like that. Sora and Kairi instead sit on the dock talking a little about how Riku has changed before Kairi jokingly suggests that just her and Sora should leave together. She then says that she was nervous about leaving, but is excited to explore knowing she can come back here whenever she wants. You are right, Kairi. It is nice having a home to come back to. Sure hope nothing happens to it. Back over at the Cease and Desist Castle, we get to see what the letter Mickey wrote to Donald says, which basically says, hey, go to find the Chosen One, the key to seal the keyhole and stop the Darks from destroying worlds. Don't follow me. Love, Mickey. So Donald and Goofy, with the help of Jiminy to chronicle their journey, head out in search of the king and possibly the key, whichever comes first really, they're not that picky. But they are picky about us keeping the order between worlds. Whatever they do, they can't let others know that other worlds exist. Why not? Man, I sure like to tell you about that, but it almost never matters unless the plot wants it to matter. I can tell you that the two of them are about to head out in the gummy ship. As for Sora, he's lounging around on his bed, but then it becomes a dark and stormy night. Sora springs out of bed to save the raft so it doesn't get destroyed, and then his mom calls him for dinner. This is the only time she's ever mentioned in the entire franchise. Outside, oh my god, it's a dark sun from Disgaea 2, and the ants are back. We can try to fight them, but sadly, stick no work. Instead, we search for Kairi and Riku, and speaking of the devil, there he is. Okay, Riku, let's get out of here.
The door is open.
That's great, Riku, but Kairi...
The door is open, Sora.
Okay, but the...
Now we can go to the outside world.
Alright, well, he's lost it, but luckily before we're both devoured by the absence of light, we're given a giant key. This is the Keyblade. Even if you've never seen Kingdom Hearts in your entire life, you've probably seen this weapon somewhere before. Practical? No. Iconic? Absolutely. And now we can finally kill those ants. With the Keyblade, we cut a path into the secret spot, now with a fancy door we saw in the tutorial area. Kairi's here. Let's get out of here, Kairi. Never mind, she's one of the ghosts now. And since the ghost wind is affecting us too, we get sent back outside. And the island is not doing so hot. Looks a lot more like a Destiny boulder right now. And that big beefcake Darkseid's back. But we know what to do. We beat his ass again. This time with the power of the Keyblade. Something I'd like to mention is that in this game, landing on the ground interrupts your air combo, allowing me to do this. Why wait for the full finisher animation when you can land the hit and reset instantly? This is a little janky, but feels pretty good to pull off, and it'll come back in a big way later, trust me. It'll be glorious. As for Darkseid, he's still easy as pie. Alright, we got him, we did. I just had to hit him one more time. Unfortunately for us, the damage is already done, and despite our best efforts, Sora, as well as the rest of the Destiny Islands, are sucked into the unknown.
The man, now walking the path he had as a child, knew the journey ahead would be a laborious one. Many struggles would be ahead for the man. His journey of over 13 years would be done within a short 13 months. But now, with new eyes, he embraced the path forward, marching ahead without fear or hesitation. For he knew he walked now as both a man with knowledge and as the child he once was. In that knowing, he would view the work once more. Would he embrace the work as he had done, or cast it into the abyss once more, never to be seen again by his venomous eyes? Only the passage of time will tell us the answer. Let us observe the man's journey and witness the outcome together.
Somewhere else, Donald and Goofy are now in New Dud, seeing a shooting star in the sky, and we see that we're now in Traverse Town. They dismiss the star and instead search for the key that Mickey mentioned, saying that maybe Leon knows about it. No, not that Leon. Pluto wanders off, finding Sora in the trash. He survived! Pluto runs off, as Pluto does a lot in this series, and Sora is left to his own devices to explore the new spooky world. There's not much info to glean, but we can find Sid, specifically Sid from Final Fantasy VII. He's running an accessory shop and is initially disappointed when Sora walks in, but once he learns the situation, he offers his help if Sora ever needs it. Thanks, Sid. After some questionable exploring by me, we enter the town's second district, just in time to see someone get their heart ripped out. The heart floats away before becoming another one of those shadow creatures. It disappears, and then the ants are back again! We wander around town, Sora leaving just as Donald and Goofy enter. This keeps going for a while, but we then learn that the 99 Dalmatian puppies have been lost across the world, so if we find any, we'll bring them back home. This is also the only game they're in. After more wandering, we level up and learn Stun Impact. This lets me briefly talk about how abilities work. Each of them requires a certain amount of AP to equip, so you can only have so many abilities on at once. This is much more of a consideration for later, but right now, yeah, we're fine. Stun Impact works by changing our ground finisher to have a 30% chance to be, well, Stun Impact. This is an AoE that can stun enemies that are hit by it, including a few bosses. I'm also taking the time to explain these abilities and showing what they can do because none of the Kingdom Hearts games ever show you a video of how these attacks work. And if Squeenix isn't gonna do it, then I will. Getting back to exploring Traverse Town, we keep going until we loop back to the first district where we find Leon, who's actually Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. He informs Sora that the Keyblade is how you get ants before trying to take it from us. Of course, Sora refuses, and Leon decides it's time to show this child why his gunblade isn't stupid, it's cool. So Leon's fight is also pretty tricky for this point in the game as he deals a lot of damage. We don't have to win this fight, but since we learned Stun Impact, if it works, Leon gets stunned, letting us beat the shit out of him. We can also pretty easily deflect Leon's attacks with jump attacks, and even though Leon tries to blow us up with fireballs, we're still able to beat him. That kid. Alright, we did it, we beat him! Good work, Sora. How do you feel?
Now you're gonna...
Oh, you're slipping, Leon.
Oh, hi Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII. After the two of them chat, the screen fades out and we see Riku in a very strange place with reverse waterfalls. This scene also isn't dubbed for some reason, but Riku calls out for Sora and Kairi before we see a mysterious villain in a black cloak watching him. Ooh. Back in Traverse Town, Donald and Goofy are still searching for the key before Aerith, also from Final Fantasy VII, appears asking if the king sent them. Back to Sora, he's in a hotel room waking up to Kairi.
I'm so glad that you're okay, Kairi.
Kairi? Who are you talking about?
Wait, no, it's Yuffie. Go back to sleep, Sora. They also took away Sora's Keyblade because the creatures wouldn't stop following him while he had it, though it won't work for long. Leon then wonders how Sora could be the chosen one before he picks up the Keyblade and it teleports back to Sora's hand. Kinda making me wonder how you got away from him to begin with, but whatever. And in Sora's own words,
Why don't you start making sense? What's going on here?
so it's time for some exposition. Sora, as well as Donald and Goofy in the other room with Aerith, gets some explanation of what's going down. We learn that the worlds were supposed to be a secret from each other since they were never connected. Since the Heartless came, that's changed. The Heartless are the creatures we've been fighting up to this point. And what are they, Leon?
Those without hearts.
Thank you. They're attracted to the darkness within people's hearts. We're also told that the researcher Ansem has been studying the Heartless, but sadly his research has been scattered across the many worlds. Before Goofy just fucking drops everything to go find the research notes, Donald reminds him that they have to find the key. Aerith then says that they're looking for the Keyblade. Obviously, it's one giant key, so it's probably important. Keyblade is something the Heartless fear, which is why they'll keep trying to kill Sora. Sora says,
Well, I didn't ask for this.
but sadly, Sora, you're our main character in RPG, so you'll just have to deal with it. After this, we have a quick chat with Yuffie where she says the Keyblade can open all kinds of locks. so we can pop open this chest with a massive lock on it, which gives us an elixir. The idea of the Keyblade opening locks is used quite a bit, and it's a nice way of not having locks on most of the chests, because sometimes just getting to the damn chest is enough of a challenge. But it's time to go. A Heartless pops in the room and Leon tells Yuffie to go get Aerith, which she does by slamming the door open and crushing Donald. Leon then knocks the invading Heartless out the fucking window, which really doesn't happen a lot in this series, and it's pretty funny in retrospect. Sora follows Leon outside while poor Donald's made into a Paper Mario character. He then tells us to not bother with the small fry and to find the leader before running off because they didn't give him friendly AI. But I stick around and fight a few of these Heartless. In the rest of the series, these guys are pushovers. Kingdom Hearts 1 though? Also, it's very real to die right now. These guys are much more difficult to deal with. Yeah, they beat my ass, so I book it to the 3rd district where we see Donald and Goofy trapped on a balcony with one of the Heartless. Luckily, Donald's playing a wizard who just so happened to have learned Fireball. Yeah, that looks about right. This makes them land on top of Sora, finding the Keyblade. But before we can talk about it, we're surrounded by Heartless, so it's time to kick ass together. That's right, boys, we finally have a party. Donald and Goofy are here to not only help us out with the fighting, but also take aggro away so you don't get overwhelmed. We'll get more in depth shortly because we have more pressing matters, like this boss fight. This is guard armor. This fight can be a wake-up call because good lord the damage. And we still can't block or dodge, so we'll have to rely on deflecting and good positioning to take him out. It can be pretty tricky because guard armor is really big, and I wish the camera was just a touch more zoomed out for extra clarity, which is sadly a problem with most of Kingdom Hearts 1's bosses, but it's minor most of the time. My strategy for guard armor was to keep my distance for a bit, then go once he's either been stunned or finished an attack. And also destroy the different limbs, and by doing so we limit guard armor's attacks, to the point he decides he wants to be a Beyblade for a bit. This fight also shows that stun impact can be unreliable as fuck when it doesn't want to work, because it did not go off a single time during this fight despite my attempts to do so. Despite that, we're still able to beat him handily, making guard armor release a giant heart that was inside of him. We then talk with Donald and Goofy as they inform Sora why they're here. Since Donald and Goofy found Sora with the key, but they need to find the King Anson research notes as well, they offer to bring Sora to the other worlds to try and find Kairi and Riku together, especially because they need the Keyblade with him. But Sora seems pretty upset since he hasn't found Kairi or Riku yet, but Donald and Goofy insist that their ship runs on smiles, so they need Sora to be happy. Come on Sora, you gotta have that toxic positivity. So Sora does this. Sora's such a good boy. Sora decided to go with Donald and Goofy. The three of them put their hands together, ready for adventure. But then, evil villains! They're watching our trio flabbergasted that Sora took down that giant Heartless. They might be silhouettes, but it's very clear these are all Disney villains. Hey, it's not my fault they want to be mysterious but have good character design. After some bickering, Maleficent appears, saying that even if he conquers the darkness or is devoured by it, he'll still be useful. Ooh, so evil. We then head back to the gang in Traverse Town. They give Sora a going away present before Donald teaches us our first spell, Fire, and then Goofy finally teaches us Dodge Roll. Finally, a defensive option. This allows us to, well, dodge roll by pressing square when we press a direction, giving us invincibility frames during the roll. Extremely helpful in every game, and the longer this series goes on without giving me dodge or block at the start, the more upset I get. Going back to magic, fire, well, shoots a fireball, what leads me to talking about magic in Kingdom Hearts 1. See, fire costs 1 MP to use, and the reason I'm bringing up specific numbers is that this game's NP system's a little strange compared to the rest of the series, though it's not alone in that regard. Now that we have spells, the MP gauge will get an orange line going up at each time you land a hit, and once that orange line hits the top of the MP you're missing, it will give you 1 MP. It also goes down as you use spells, so it can be used just like MP, though it's far more vague. It should also be noted that the more maximum MP you have, the more damage you deal with spells, which is why I took the Raw at the start, as max MP is very hard to come by. And while fire is a bit underwhelming now since it's just a basic fireball, the later spells in this game, oh boy, you're gonna see some shit later, let me tell you what. Back to the town, we explore finding a Trinity mark that we can use since Donald and Goofy are with us now. Anything else? Oh yeah, I completely forgot about Jiminy. He's here too. He tracks the people we meet, gives us summaries of the story in each world, and notes down the Heartless we fight, and keeps our minigame high scores for us. I hope we don't lose those minigame high scores, they're very important. Alright, I've yapped enough. Let's go to space! It's time to fly the gummy ship. I don't know why Donald and Goofy allow Sora, the literal 12-year-old, to fly a spaceship, but it's Disney, so whatever. Let's select a world and head out.
Change. Please change. For God's sake.
The gameplay of the gummy ship in this game is bad. Now, the gummy ship is fully customizable, but at its core, it is not a good time. It is agonizingly slow, which wouldn't be that bad if things happened, but yeah. It's like someone walked up to Swinks and said, "Hey Squinks, give me a Star Fox with extra space." Extra space. And hold the enemies. Hold the enemies. And hold the fun. Hold the fun. Hey Chibi, give us space with nothing. There's not much else to talk about here aside from getting new pieces of the ship so you can go to more worlds and eventually being able to skip the trips altogether with a warp. Let's just go to our first world.
Joey, you like movies about gladiators?
Yeah, boy, it's time for Nomura's favorite world. No, really, it shows up the most out of any of the worlds in the series. We head in finding Phil. He assumes he's talking to Herc, so he instantly has us do manual labor. Of course, Sora has small baby arms, so he can't move this giant boulder. He then complains to Phil.
It's way too heavy.
What? Too heavy? Since when have you been such a little
Bitch.
Oh, wrong guy.
Phil then boasts about the Coliseum being for heroes only, but after the trio complains that they are heroes,
We're heroes too.
Hero? That grunt?
What's so funny?
Phil concedes and gives them a trial to test them. It's just breaking some barrels, nothing too crazy. After that, Phil insists we're not heroes and refuses to let us into the games, but then gives us the Thunder spell, which is pretty nice of him because Thunder is a very powerful spell in these games, just hitting enemies in a big AoE. Very, very nice. Thank you, Phil. Well, I guess we have nothing else to do here. Time to leave.
Rather a stubborn old goat, wouldn't you say?
Oh boy, here comes Satan. Hades Nuts here offers Sora a pass in the Coliseum gates for absolutely nothing. Yep, no warning flags here. Let's go.
Good luck, kid. I'm pulling for you, little shorty.
Phil instantly folds when we hand him the pass and asks no questions, so he's completely fine to let a child throw himself into danger. So that's just what we do. As is tradition with most of the iterations of the Coliseum, we get to do several battles in a row. We even get to see how absurdly powerful Thunder is.
Thunder! Here!
After a few battles, we then see a mysterious spiky-haired character pass by us. Huh, I wonder who that could be. Oh well, back to the fights. Since we also now have 2 spells, something that's very helpful in Kingdom Hearts is that you can assign 3 spells or items to shortcuts. There's only 3 instead of the later games which have 4, but it's plenty since we just chew through the Heartless that are apparently allowed to participate. If it was like a tournament of people fighting monsters, that'd be one thing, but the Heartless teams have names and places in the brackets, which imply to me that they're sentient enough to not only willingly participate in these tournaments, but also give their teams silly names like Blue Revenge, which is all Blue Rhapsodies, or Big One, which prominently features the worst enemy in the series, Large Body. I swear to God, no matter what game in the series it is, these guys always get in the way when I'm attacking something else. I hate them. After we get far enough in the tournament, we see Hades talking to the guy from before, and I might as well drop the act because anyone who's with Final Fantasy knows that spiky hair anywhere. It's Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Seems to have made some kind of deal with Hades to fight Hercules, and Cloud will have to fight Sora to get to Herc. Cloud reluctantly goes through with it while Hades plots further.
Hey, it's like that old goat says. Rule number 11. It's all just a game, so let loose and have fun with it!
Going forward with the... Running it back, we get all the way up to Cloud. Time to fight him. Alright, good start. Yeah, Cloud's extremely dangerous and we get our ass beat. Luckily, we're allowed to lose this fight and Cloud spares Sora, and we get a very strangely made cutscene. Is Cloud just fucking dead? Luckily, Herc stops Cerberus and has Phil evacuate the trio. Don't know if Cloud is okay. Maybe his hair acted as a cushion? Questions for later. But after we get out, we're right back in there to help. Oh hey, Herc's got Cloud in his shoulder. Guess he is fine. But since Cerberus would rather fight the trio for some reason, he turns his attention to us, giving Herc the chance to escape with Cloud.
Kid, I got 2 words of advice for you. Attack!
So despite being like 4 to 5 times Sora's size, Cerberus is far easier to fight than Cloud. Though we still gotta be careful, he can chunk us pretty good. This is what I get for going glass cannon build. Cerberus' attacks are quite simple and have pretty good tells, so they're not that hard to dodge. Though I'd like to give a shout out to this shockwave attack, which feels like it's designed to waste my time. But after a few attempts lost due to greed, we learn the pattern and put Cerberus back in the doghouse. This has Phil give us the title of Junior Heroes, giving us full access to the games and tournaments at the Coliseum. Donald gets upset at being called Junior Heroes, with Phil saying the trio doesn't understand what it means to be a true hero. When Goofy asks what it takes, Herc just says it's something we'll have to find out on our own. Thanks, man. But the games are going to be shut down for a while, so it's time for us to head out for real this time. Though before we do, we ask Cloud how he's doing. He says he's looking for someone, and Hades said he'd help, with Cloud knowingly trying to exploit the power of the darkness, but it backfired. He even says he lost his light because of this. Sora reassures him that Cloud will find his light, as Sora's searching for his own as well. With that, Cloud gets up and gives Sora some air, and then Sora asks for a rematch with no dark powers involved, and Cloud rejects him in the most edgy anime boy way possible.
I think I'll pass.
Christ. But for Cloud's edgy display, we're granted Sonic Blade, an ability that allows Sora to thrust the Keyblade at enemies repeatedly. This is activated by being at a vague distance away from the enemy and then pressing triangle when you see the Sonic prompt appear. Then you hit the triangle when you see Rave or Blast. This is a very effective attack, and on top of that, it makes you invincible when you started. Only problem is that it costs 3 AP to equip, which is our maximum right now, but that'll change soon. We finally leave and get to see Hades throwing a fit because of Hercules, but he calms himself as he knows all the pieces are in place and will get both Herc and Sora the next games. As Hades says this, Maleficent shows up before Hades shoos her away. These sissy villains really don't get along, do they? Makes me wonder how the hell they even formed a group in the first place. Flying over to the next world, Donald's about to brush it off as there's no way the king would ever visit a world like that. Sora interjects saying that Kairi and Riku be there, and after an argument, the gummy ship crashes into the world.
Oh, eat a dick, Jungle! Cover it with malaria and leeches, sprinkle some dengue fever on it, and eat a big goddamn jungly dick!
Welcome to the jungle. And after Sora survives crashing into a wooden home at terminal velocity with only a bump on his head, he's instantly in mortal danger because he's going to be mauled to death by an actual honest-to-God real leopard. Though with that being said, this fight is really easy. It comes with the territory when you have magic. After playing dead, Sabor leaps at Sora again. Luckily, Tarzan swoops in, somehow spinning around a pillar that's the size of him, and makes Sabor retreat by jumping out a window that has glass in the middle of the jungle. Let's ignore that because we need to ask Tarzan some questions.
What is this place?
This place.
Okay.
Okay, this is gonna be harder than I thought. Tarzan isn't able to speak English very well, but he is able to understand the concept of a friend. I think. Getting excited, Sora tries to ask where Donald is before cutting himself off, likely remembering the argument they just had, before shifting to ask about Kairi and Riku. And while Tarzan repeats Kairi, Riku, and friends back at Sora, Sora zones out and sees Kairi behind Tarzan before she disappears. But after Tarzan gives some gorilla speech,
Huh?
Tarzan and Sora head out together. We then see Donald and Goofy alone in a grove. Goofy wonders where Sora is, while Donald says they won't need him to find the king, despite that literally being one of the king's objectives. But Donald's likely still sore about the argument. Donald then accidentally smacks this gorilla in the head, causing both of them to scream. This makes the gorilla run off and drop this shiny rock. Cool, I love rocks. This also attracts Clayton, who just straight up has a double-barrel shotgun. I think there's a reason Deep Jungle didn't come back after Kingdom Hearts 1. Swords and other fancy weapons are one thing, but real guns just feel very out of place. You know, despite this guy. Actually, I think I figured out why Cypher doesn't have his gunblade in Kingdom Hearts 1, beyond the fact that it just looks fucking stupid. Real guns just don't show up in Kingdom Hearts. I'm rambling at this point. Hey, editing bell here. Turns out the real reason is because the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate forbids Disney from reusing Tarzan again. They were actually going to use Deep Jungle again in Chain of Memories, even going as far as making a card sprite for the keychain. But since Disney was told no, they can't use Tarzan again. Okay, back to the video. The more important point is that Tarzan's in our party now. This is actually something that happens a few times in the game, and when we inevitably join up with Donald and Goofy again, we'll have to choose who we want in the party then. But I'm gonna level with you now, it's almost always a better idea to use Donald and Goofy in this game than the guest members. As for now, since I finally got 4 AP from the Sabor fight, we can give Sonic Blade a try, but only after this sick Jungle Slider minigame. If this heart-pumping action is too much for you, you can just end the video right now. After our slide down the trees, we land in this camp, and after pilfering anything we can get our hands on, including these slides, we enter the main tent. Here we find Jane, who's taken aback by Sora's ability to speak English.
So then, obviously you're not related to Tarzan.
Yes, that's the only way to tell. But when Jane asks if we're here to study the gorillas, Clayton cuts her off, bringing Donald and Goofy with them. Donald and Sora are happy to see each other before acting like they never want to speak again. Clayton then leaves, saying we won't be helpful hunting gorillas, to which Jane corrects him, saying we're just here to research them. Though Clayton either doesn't hear her or just lays his cards on the table and hopes no one will challenge him because he's the only owner of a real gun in this series. But after Clayton leaves, Jane offers everyone to make themselves at home, to which both Sora and Donald say they're staying, much to Sora's surprise. Goofy then shows Sora what they found, which is actually a gummy block for the ship. We then use the slides we found earlier on Jane's projector to try and get Tarzan to understand the concept of a friend. Though before we get too far, Sora sees a slide of a castle that somehow seems familiar to him, even though he's never left his island. Where have we seen a castle before? I knew it! Sadly, we conclude that Tarzan doesn't know where Kairi and Riku are, with Clayton interjecting that the only place they could be is with the gorillas. Do you guys think he wants to find the gorillas? And since Tarzan refuses to take them to the gorillas, that's the only place Clayton hasn't been. Again, I wonder why. But Tarzan decides to go and talk to the gorillas, seeing if they will allow anyone to see them. Clayton offering himself as an escort since the jungle is so dangerous, especially for the guy who's been living here his whole life. Clayton, you are aware that evil smiles in front of everyone, right? Ignoring that somehow, we leave and oh sweet Jesus, Sabora's back! Look out, Sora! Oh, already, never mind. After that, we explore for a bit and I swap out Tarzan for Goofy so I can activate this training out. Oh god, not again! Something else I want to point out about this area is that we can actually use the equipment here to synthesize items, though not through a menu. We instead light this fire on the stove, and then once we found the notes around the camp, we use the stove to cook a potion into a high potion. It's little quirks like this I find so fascinating about Kingdom Hearts 1. None of the other games have environmental interactions like 1 does, and even if they do, it's usually relegated to things like a door requiring an item. We never get cooking with Sora in the future games. Well, okay, we do, but
Oops. Oh. Sorry.
Never again. Moving along, we climb up this vine for everyone's favorite part of Deep Jungle, the swinging vines. Aw yeah, baby, look at that jank. And the punishment for screwing up is having to do it all over again. Let's go! I'm exaggerating this for the sake of comedy, at least I fucking hope I am. But this still feels weird to use, and having us go all the way back anytime we mess up is not great. Getting past the vines, Tarzan talks to the gorillas and he pleads with Kerchak to let us see the nesting grounds because we need their help. Unsurprisingly, Kerchak says nothing and leaves, but Sora thinks he was distracted by something at the treehouse we saw earlier. Don't know how Sora knows that considering, but time to head over there and... God damn it. After getting exceedingly lost for a good part of 20 minutes, we finally climb back up to the trees and find the treehouse, where Clayton almost shoots the most annoying character in the film. Sadly, Donald distracts him, making Clayton miss and allows Turk to live another day. Of course, this pisses off Kerchak, and despite Tarzan's pleas, he and Turk leave in silence. Tarzan looks back at Clayton, who says he was actually trying to save that gorilla's life by shooting a snake. Ah, yes, of course. I'll be sure to look out for the incredibly deadly viper as well. Getting back to camp, Jane chews out Clayton, rightfully so, and not a single person believes him when he tries to defend himself again. I love this shot of everyone just looking at him sternly, except Donald and Goofy and Tarzan just in their idle animations. Clayton storms out and something seems to attack him, causing him to shoot at it. We rush outside to see what's happened and find Monkey Heartless have surrounded a gorilla. Oh no, we better save the day. Sonic Blade, go! Okay, that was easy. I probably didn't need the Sonic Ray for that, but alright. With the gorillas saved, they then give us another gummy block, and it becomes our objective to save the other gorillas. The game doesn't really convey this well, but that's what we gotta do. The Monkey Heartless seem intimidating, but we use the power of magic. And after fighting them for several areas, we level up, giving us Ripple Drive. This is another ground finisher that deals physical damage in an area, with the damage based off Sora's max MP. Very good for our build, good shit. After I save the last of the gorillas, I get extremely lost once again because the game, again, doesn't tell us where to go. What we have to do is head over to that clearing Donald and Goofy were in earlier, where we find Clayton's pipe, which he never used in front of Sora and the others, but process of elimination and all that, I suppose. Then we fight Sabor one last time. Sabor instantly hits us on fight start, but I blast it with 2 Sonic Blades back to back in revenge. Sabora decides to be a little more cunning for this fight by jumping in the nearby foliage before jumping at us again. Unfortunately for the leopard, I have game mechanics on my side, and the lock-on doesn't go away when Sabora jumps to the foliage. Tank right through that shit. There we go. She shrimples his head. And I presume we just fucking kill her as Sabor falls over and we get the white fang accessory, because I'm also assuming either Sora ripped a fang out of Sabor or Tarzan did to show Sora how to make a trophy for his hunt. Turk then runs into Jane and the two of them are beset by even more Heartless. We rush back to check on them after I do some Heartless gambling, of course, but we find the two of them are missing. Tarzan says they're by the treehouse. Okay, fine. We climb all the way back up there, and indeed we find them in a cage of vines. We better save them by really awkwardly hitting this big eggplant-looking thing repeatedly, even though it doesn't react when I hit it. Good thing Sora said it looked suspicious when we started, or else I might have stopped doing that. With Jane rescued, she says Clayton was the one who dragged her and Turk away. Alright, let's go kick Clayton's ass. Running all the way back down through the trees, which totally is giving me Kingdom Hearts 3 Arendelle PTSD, we find Clayton has trapped the gorillas by teaming up with the Heartless. Because of course he would, he's a Disney villain after all, and just, my lexicon is sorely lacking to describe the events in this scene. Just watch.
No!
Okay, after that, Tarzan calls this guy not Clayton.
Not Clayton.
God damn, this part's so silly. Okay, so we have to fight Not Clayton, which he proves that he can and will fire buckshot at a child. But the fight doesn't last long before Clayton raises his gun, making the wall behind him explode. Seemingly open to attack, Tarzan rushes him before getting knocked away by an invisible force as Not Clayton starts floating around. The real boss fight starts now, as Not Clayton floats around and continues to shoot at us, but now will also get attacked by whatever force he's using to float around, which turns out to be a giant chameleon Heartless. It's called Stealth Sneak. No, really, and I'm gonna be honest here, it started out intimidating, but once it appeared, we were just able to separate from Clayton rather quickly. We then proceed to repeatedly saw Clayton in the balls until he died. Though Clayton isn't done yet, he's gonna shoot us, but fortunately for us, the Stealth Sneak collapses, taking him out for us. And thank God they took out Clayton like this, because I remember how he goes in the original movie. This traumatized me as a kid. With Clayton's death, we learned the power of healing and can finally use Cure. Very nice. With that, the gorillas approach Sora and yeet him away. This allows Sora and the gang to access the gorillas' home, and after grabbing some items, we head into our final stop for Deep Jungle. Tarzan's home. He says we can see our friends here, adding something else in gorilla. Jane somehow figures out what Tarzan's saying means heart. So Tarzan brought us here to see the friends in our heart. He even says Clayton lost his heart so we can no longer see his friends. Oh, so that's why he was not Clayton. Okay, gotcha. Sora then apologizes to Donald and Donald does the same. Goofy bringing them together as well. The butterflies on the wall then disperse, showing us the world's keyhole. So Sora uses the keyblade on it, sealing this world's heart from the Heartless. It also gives us a new gummy block.
I think someone has a new admirer.
No. This would kill me.
Are they implying he'd fuck the gorilla? You know what? Let's just get the hell out of here. We then see Maleficent with the other villains, saying Clayton's lust for power is what consumes him. Jafar then steps forward, insulting the dead man before showing concern about Sora since he was able to seal one of the keyholes. Maleficent claims it'll take ages for Sora to find the other keyholes, and that Sora's completely unaware of their other plans to gather princesses, which they already have, Snow White. Cutting back to Tarzan and the gang, Tarzan gives Sora a gift. It's the keychain for Jungle King. Keychains are used in this game to change the Keyblade shape, which changes its stats and even its range. In this case, the Jungle King keychain has a longer reach and much more strength, but has a lower critical hit chance, which is completely fine since it doesn't affect our magic stat. And I swear, I didn't forget to equip it.
There's more soup! What do you mean there's more soup? There's just more soup! Go into the next aisle! There's still soup! Where are you right now? I'm at soup! What do you mean you're at soup? I mean I'm at soup!
Alice in Wonderland, a story that has way too many different interpretations. I specifically remember this one from, I think, 1997. That was a TV special that we had on VHS. I remember this scene where she just floods a room by crying. I don't know why, but I just do. Anyways, back in Kingdom Hearts, the trio lands gracefully. Though before we can get our bearings, the white rabbit rushes past us saying he'll be late because the rabbit's always late. With no other real idea where to go, we follow him, finding him shrunken down in the other room. So, how do we get smaller? Well, this living doorknob tells us to quaff one of the drinks on this magically appearing table, of course. It's Wonderland, just go with it. We also have to drink this other bottle to get big again, shove this bed into the wall, and now we can proceed. The weird order of operations, but whatever. We enter the garden and we see Alice is on trial by the Queen of Hearts, being accused of trying to steal her heart. Sora wants to intervene, but Dawn reminds him that they're not allowed to meddle in the affairs of other worlds. Ooh. This lasts about 10 seconds as the Queen sentences Alice to be beheaded. Of course, this is actually just France. So we rush in and defend Alice. We're then demanded proof, but it's a hot commodity we don't really have, so it's time for us to go find some. Alice will stay in this cage while we do that. Seeking evidence, we arrive to this small forest area. This is where we meet the Cheshire Cat, who, of course, doesn't give us a direct answer. Instead, he tells us there's 4 pieces of evidence we can find. Well, we better get searching then. The first few are extremely easy, but I end up getting lost for a bit anyway. The reason is because we need to use a potion on this flower here to get big. We then smack the tree, rotating to give us a new platform to get across the forest and allowing us to enter the room from before. Again, later Kingdom Hearts titles don't do environmental stuff like this. I just want to highlight it because I find it so fascinating. The new entrance gives us the final piece of evidence to save Alice, and as the Cheshire Cat, give us the power of ice, allowing us to finally use Blizzard. Blizzard is an extremely powerful projectile that comes out like a shotgun, and through the magic of jump canceling can do an absurd amount of damage, assuming whatever we're fighting isn't immune or resistant to ice. With our evidence collected, we head back to the Queen to prove Alice's innocence. Of course, the Queen doesn't play fair, so she shuffles the evidence along with a dud. We better pick the right one. Nice. Despite that, the Queen of Hearts doesn't listen, decides to attack us, and now we have to fight off the card soldiers. Though they revive after we beat them, so our actual objective is to destroy this tower in the middle of the field, which the Queen draws attention to.
It's not letting me hit her. There we go. The majority of people just don't do that.
After some property damage, we win the fight and level up, finally giving us the scan ability, so now we can finally see enemy health bars when we lock onto them. We did it, Alice. We freed you. Okay, Alice. Nice invisible woman cosplay. You can come out now. Oh, she's gone for real. Shit. We better go find her. When we enter the forest again, the Cheshire Cat appears once more, saying something about an upside-down room. Well, I'm sure that doesn't mean anything. Time to go through this passage. Oh, hey, it's the Mad Hatter from Batman. The real talk, his fights in the Arkham series are super cool. I kind of have a soft spot for him, even if he is just a fucking disgusting freak in that series. Back to Kingdom Hearts, we leave the room without interacting with anything because I didn't know how it worked at the time. This gets us in the upside down version of the main room. Cheshire Cat even tells us to turn on a light to find the shadows. Thanks. Well, we do just that after killing all the Heartless in the room, of course. And then we have to go all the way back to the right side up version of this room where we talk to Cheshire Cat again. But this time it's to fight the world's boss, Trickmaster. This guy's a pain in the ass. You're only able to jump and attack his main body. His legs and arms can't be damaged. So there's a lot of jumping in store for you. There is a way to make this far easier. Hit Trickmaster with Thunder. It instantly stuns him, allowing you to go ham for a while, which Nob did twice, and I was so worried about dying I didn't even notice. Though sometimes it didn't just work at all. It's kind of weird. I think he gets like an immunity to being stunned again after a while. It's not very clear. And at about half health, Trickmaster walks over to the oven and lights his clubs on fire for more damage. Luckily, this doesn't matter too much, and hitting him repeatedly with my big key, he goes down eventually. We then have another chat with the sleepy doorknob as he gives a big yawn, revealing this world's keyhole. Sora inadvertently locks it and Wonderland is safe. I think this is supposed to be the first time he does this, but, you know, we can go wherever the hell we want, so whatever. This gives us another gummy box, and the Cheshire Cat appears to tell us Alice isn't in Wonderland anymore. Damn. Well, guess we'll have to head out and see if we can find her in another world. This is also when I realized I should have been using Jungle King the entire time.
Yeah, I should have been using this.
But we leave, and since we don't have any more worlds we can go to, head back to Traverse Town to see if we can get the navigation blocks installed.
Please change, please. Please change.
We're back. It's not immediately obvious where to go, but we'll do what we always do. Wander around until we figure it out. After a good amount of that against far more difficult enemies and finally equipping Ripple Drive, we use the red trinity to break through this gate and talk to Leon and Aerith. What? Why are you guys in the sewers? Talk about how Sora sealed the keyhole of another world and that the Keyblade just did it on its own. Leon says that Traverse Town likely has a keyhole as well, and if it isn't sealed, then Heartless will enter it, finding the world's heart. What do? Destroy the world, of course. We should probably keep sealing those keyholes, yeah? Sora has a bit of doubt that he's the one to do it, but everyone says he can do it, and that we have to find the King, Riku, and Kairi, so, should probably keep on doing it. We also ask Leon about the gummy blocks, but he has no idea how to use them, so Aerith directs us to Sid. But before we leave, Leon gives us the Earthshine. What does it do? He doesn't know, but thanks anyway, man. On the way back, we find ourselves at this door, which we can open by using fire magic. Again, you really don't see this in later games. It's so interesting. Past the door, we find this rundown house, and entering it, we find Kairi.
Reminds me of the secret place back home, where we used to scribble on the walls. Remember?
Kairi?
Sora?
Damn ghosts. But before we leave, Merlin shows up, sprucing up the place before saying the king tasked him with teaching us magic. Fairy Godmother is here as well, but we'll be talking about her in a bit. Talking to Merlin again gives us access to a training room, which gives us infinite MP against enemies so we can practice our moves, which, in retrospect, this is kind of huge foresight for action games. Training rooms weren't really a common thing until around Devil May Cry 5 all the way back in 2019. Maybe Bayonetta in 2010, but I feel like DMC5 was more influential than these. Sorry, Bayo. Talking to the fairy godmother, she says her world disappeared, as well as she's worried for Cinderella. She has nothing else for us now, so we head out and talk to Sid. He says he'll install the gummy block, but asks us to deliver a book to oh god damn it. Running all the way back, we give the book to Merlin, who says it just appeared one day in his bag, and it's missing several pages. Merlin leaves it on the stand for us to look at if we're interested. But before that, we talk to the fairy godmother again, and she tells us that the stone Leon gave us is a person whose world was destroyed, but their strong heart allowed them to live on as this gem. Which means we got summons, baby! My least used mechanic in every game that has them. Don't show that. Summons allow us to summon certain characters at the cost of our party and some of our MP. Summons I have mixed feelings about, not only in this game but in others. They have their uses though. They're especially more powerful in Proud Mode with the use of the damage storage glitch, but I can't really take advantage of that since we're on Standard Mode. Our first summon is Simba. He gives us the Proud Roar, which is a very powerful area attack, though you have to charge the attack for it to be fully effective. Though it can be extremely helpful in the right circumstances. Going back, we finally look at the book Merlin brought, and guess what? It's the 100-Acre Wood from Winnie the Pooh. Find Pooh Bear sitting on a log and he is not having a good time. Since this book has lost so many pages, everyone's disappeared except Pooh, so he's trying to figure out how to say goodbye to himself, as he's convinced he'll disappear as well. Can I just be real with you guys? This is dark as fuck. Imagine, if you will, you're sitting at home and slowly, every friend and family member you knew slowly disappears, and you're left with nothing but your own company. And in knowing your own likely inevitable demise is coming, and not even knowing how it will happen, you decide to figure out what the best way is to say goodbye to yourself. Anyways, remember when they made a bunch of shitty Winnie the Pooh horror movies? God, those sucked. We also can't really do anything in the 100-Acre Wood right now, so we vow to return to Pooh Bear and head back to Sid's. But on the way, we're beset by even more Heartless. Well, would you look at that? Riku's here. After their touching reunion, Sora asks Riku if he's seen Kairi, but he hasn't. Riku stays optimistic about it though, saying she's sure to be out there somewhere, maybe looking for them too. Riku also starts to boast about himself, just about to mention someone else, before he's cut off by Sora saving him from a Heartless. After Sora shows off and says he's been looking for him and Kairi with the help of Donald and Goofy, Riku somehow just yoinks the Keyblade from Sora. He's really got to work on that grip strength. He tosses the Keyblade back and Sora offers to have Riku come with them, but Donald instantly shuts them down because, in case you didn't notice, Donald's a bit of a shit. Turning back to Riku, he's just gone.
Like that fucking scene in Spider-Man 3 where Harry's just in the diner and he just...
Maybe we'll run into
like
Kairi
he's just
soon,
sitting there staring at Peter and the truck goes by and he's just gone somehow. Like how the fuck did Riku do that? Where did he go?
Heading into this random house, we find Sid and Leon. Glad I remembered to come here instead of going all the way back to Sid's. Here we're told about Maleficent, an evil witch commanding legions of Heartless. She's also the reason that the Final Fantasy characters lost their world, with the exception of Waka, Titus, and Selphie apparently, which is... it's even more confusing with Selphie considering she's also from Final 8, just like Squall Leon is. Those two never interact in this series, by the way, so yeah, headcanon go her. Anyways, the leader of the Final Fantasy world, or whatever the hell it was Ansem, the same Ansem that was studying the Heartless. But when their world fell, Maleficent took most of the research notes. And speak of the devil, Maleficent is lurking outside with Riku, and she is gaslighting the fuck out of him.
He quite simply replaced you with some new companions, evidently. Now he values them far more than he does you.
She offers Riku to come with her, as she'll help Riku find what he's looking for. He doesn't answer, but by the look on his face, I'm quite sure we all know what he did. Back with everyone else, Sid informs us he installed the gummy blocks we asked for and threw in a warp block for free. Thank you, Sid. Now we can skip the stupid gameplay after we've driven to places for the first time. We're also told by Aerith and Yuthi about an urban legend surrounding the Gizmo shop in the 2nd district. Sounds pretty suspicious. I better go take a look. We head over, climb to the roof of the shop, ring this bell 3 times, and revealing the key in Traverse Town. Which means you all better subscribe and hit that. So we'd head over to seal that keyhole, but we're stopped by the guard armor. It's back, this time with a vengeance. And after a quick beating, it collapses. But then, it reassembles itself in reverse, becoming the silly-looking new boss, Opposite Armor. Yet, despite the silly appearance, Opposite Armor is really dangerous. He hits extremely hard and is always floating, so things like Sonic Blade aren't as effective as they were before. Lucky for us, he has the same weakness as the first time, breaking his Rayman limbs until there's nothing left. The worst part about this fight is when he fucks off to the stairs here, making the fight extremely awkward. He also has this attack where he blasts us as a cannon. It's hard to dodge, but it's not that bad. Keep cool, don't get greedy, and you'll bring Opposite Armor down easy peasy. We even leveled up, giving us Hurricane Blast. And with the Opposite Armor's defeat, we also learn the power of wind, giving us Arrow. We'll talk about these in a bit. First, we gotta seal this keyhole. Dunzo. Now we can talk. Hurricane Blast, also known as Hurricane Wind or Hurricane Period. This is our first new air finisher, activating when a target is below Sora, making him spin vertically. Very nice. As for Arrow, it creates a wind barrier around the target you cast it on, making them take half damage. Extremely useful, but I wasn't sure what it did at the time, so I didn't use it until later. Getting back to it, we talked to Sid and he says he's in the gummy block business, so if we talk to him about gummies, he'll give us a big discount. Disclaimer, discount may not be real, only in your mind. We also show him the new Navi gummy we found, but we can't use it yet. It needs another piece. That being said, we have to install some gummies, so it's time to make our very own gummy ship. And let me tell you, this editor controls like ass. Like up and down, does not go up and down. Instead, it brings the blocks you're placing forward and backwards in 3D space. What you have to do is use L1 and L2 to bring the blocks up and down. And just no. So getting through this as quickly as possible, I made the base of the ship I eventually wanted to make, but I couldn't be asked to color it, so you know, this is what it is now. But with that, we leave Traverse Town ready to search for more worlds. Leaving, we get told by Chip and Dale, who I forgot to mention the mechanics of the gummy ship, that the Coliseum is having a new tournament. Better head in there and crush it. While we do that, let's talk about Donald and Goofy's AI. See, in Kingdom Hearts, you're able to customize, at least to some extent, how Donald and Goofy act. In my experience, the best way to do it is something like this. This way, Donald will spam magic like there's no tomorrow, and Goofy won't knock away enemies when you're trying to combo them like he does here.
Damn it, Goofy. Just completely knocked that away from me while I was trying to fight him.
Shout out to Stickman Chan's video about them. They helped me get the most out of these two in all the main Kingdom Hearts games. We'll be changing Donald and Goofy's AI and abilities again later, but for now, we're able to crush the tournament, giving us the power of the stars, letting us learn one of the most powerful spells in the game, and in the series really, Gravity. Gravity, for reasons well beyond me, costs 1 MP and deals a percentage of HP damage to the targets. For that alone, you should know that having a spell like this is absurd for only costing 1 MP. The main downside is that it takes a few seconds for gravity to actually land, and most bosses are either resistant or immune to it. With that being said, holy shit, this spell is busted. There's a reason we're not allowed to ever use the spell again after Chain of Memories. Alright, let's get back to progressing the story.
Close this thing back up. Yeah.
Nate? Be careful.
Come on. I always am.
Agra, bro. I did it peak comedy. Don't let anyone tell you that I'm not funny.
Peak comedy aside, we see Maleficent and Jafar. Since the Heartless are on it, they're instead looking for Jasmine, but she disappeared as Iago informs them. This causes Jafar and Maleficent to get into a short argument about Jasmine's worth before Maleficent says Jasmine is one of the 7 princesses of heart. You need to open the final door. What could that be? Who knows? It's not me. Jafar says they'll find her eventually and summons Heartless to search for her, but Maleficent reminding him that the Heartless will consume the careless. Of course, Jafar brushes this off because all Disney villains are vain and arrogant. We see Jasmine is literal feet away from the evil pair. How they can't find her, I really don't know. Anyways, welcome to Agrabah, Sora. Jesus Christ.
Alright, boys, wake up. Time to go. Shit.
Yeah, this game has no qualms fucking you up at a moment's notice. Agrabah is a strange place to get around. There's a lot of verticality, but the place we're in at the game, we don't have a lot of ways to get up easily. It's also extraordinarily easy to get lost in, as we'll see later. We wander around a bit before we finally find Jasmine. I'm glad she instantly trusts these strangers while she's being hunted by Jafar. Jasmine gives Sora a rundown of what's happening. You know, princess to a sultan who's currently being deposed by Jafar on the run from him. The usual princess stuff. She's been hiding with Aladdin ever since. Or, you know, at least until the moment we walk in front of her hiding spot, which instantly allows Jafar to find her. Good work, Jasmine. We tell Jasmine to run and we fight up the Heartless Jafar summons. Yeah, that it didn't do as much damage as it could have, but still pretty significant. Now it's time for us to wander around again trying to figure out where the hell Jasmine and Jafar went. Luckily, it doesn't take long before we find Aladdin's house and the magic carpet inside, which leads us to the desert. Taking a ride in the carpet, we see Aladdin is fucking dying in the sand. Hold your breath, bit buddy, there's Heartless we need to kill first. The Heartless taken care of, we go to help Aladdin, but there's even more Heartless. So Aladdin, who I guess is free from the quicksand, uses the power of the genie and wishes the Heartless away. Won't lie, man, we probably could have taken them.
Wish number 1 coming right up!
With that, we get away from the area and have a chat with Aladdin. He says he was looking for some stuff in the Cave of Wonders where he found the magic carpet and a lamp that the genie was in. Who's Genie? Well, I'll let the professional explain it.
Can someone... Please, kid, leave the intros to a professional. The one and only Genie of the Lamp! Rub-a-dub-dub the lamp and have your dearest wishes granted. Today's winner is Aladdin! Congratulations!
I just had to include this scene, it's great. It might not fully capture Genie's expressiveness in the film, but it's pretty great for the time. After some deliberation, Aladdin almost wishes for himself to be a fabulously rich prince, though he puts a pin in that until we get back since, well...
Oh, that's right! She's in trouble, Aladdin!
What? Well, come on,
Why'd you wait so long to tell me, Sora?
So we head back to save the day. On the way back, we hear Genie's lament about his deal of only getting 3 wishes and then having to go back into his lamp. So Aladdin promises to use his last wish to free Genie. Damn, it's just like the movie. Getting back to Agrabah, we're instantly attacked again because that's just how this place rolls. And we also get a taste of how OP Gravity really is against larger enemies. Let's go, Gravity! This costs 1 MP. That's kind of fucking nuts to me. But after getting lost for a good 30 minutes, I finally found out where to go, which is to use this Keyblade on this lock, which is placed suspiciously like a window. Thanks, Kingdom Hearts 1. You know what? It's because I thought it looked like a goddamn window. That's why. Because we were fucking around for so long, Jasmine's captured by Jafar. Damn. Aladdin quickly uses his second wish to save Jasmine, but unfortunately this lets Iago steal the lamp. People just have the worst butterfingers in this game, I swear. With the lamp stolen, Genie drops Jasmine into a pot and Jafar turns the pot into their next boss fight, the Pot Centipede. This is where I found the jank of Kingdom Hearts 1 to really show itself. Both the Pot Centipede as well as the Pot Spiders that back it up really don't like being hit. It led to a pretty annoying boss fight as we had to keep killing the Pot Spiders that continue spawning until finally being able to go for the Pot Centipede. And with Donald and Goofy being unable to stay away from any attacks at all, this is more or less a solo fight. The most dangerous attack it has is waving the antenna and tail around, and thanks to its janky hitbox and huge damage, this attack sucks, but we finally bring it down, leveling us up and giving us MP haste, which allows us to recover MP far faster. We also acquired the Ray of Light accessory, which can increase our max MP by 1, so yeah, that shit's going on ASAP. In the aftermath, Jasmine's disappeared and Aladdin just knows that Jafar took her to the desert. Didn't mention that, but let's just go with it, I guess. Going back to the desert, we arrive at the entrance to the Cave of Wonders. Except now it's possessed by darkness. Time to fight it. A bit strange pacing wise since we just did a boss fight, but okay. The Cave of Wonders Guardian is a strange fight. Since the only place to hit it is in the eyes, we have two options. Either hit it with magic or hit it with the Keyblade by climbing up its mane, which is, it takes a while. I also unequipped Scan in favor of using MP Haste, so I couldn't see how much damage I was doing. It's not too bad though, it's just awkward. Don't look at Donald and Goofy's being dead, it's pretty standard. Also, this fight gave me a flashback to those sphinxes in the Neverending Story. Remember when kids' movies would just traumatize them? Good times. Entering into the cave, it's full of these bandit heartless, and they are bastards. They hit fast and hard, so it can be a rough one out here, though there are worse incarnations of them in later games. As for the cave itself, it's a place we return to every time Agrabah is available to visit, and every time it is completely different, which I suppose somewhat leads into the wonders part. Here, it's somewhat of a corridor with two levels. The upper level, which has traps like boulders and streams of water to blast us into the pits. Then there's the lower level, which is full of water and a few treasures, like this torn page which you need for the 100-acre wood. We eventually make our way to the treasure room, but after raiding a few more items, we can't get any farther because of this giant pillar in the way, so it's time to explore some more. It did take quite a while since we had to go from some of the upper rooms into the lower ones to access some of the other areas of the cave, and the lack of the map did not help, nor did finding out we need Aladdin in our party when I found out what to interact with. But after enough fucking around, items are found, switches are pulled, and we destroy this pillar, which probably lowers that other pillar, so that's cool. This cuts to Jafar, who uses Genie's power to show him the world's keyhole. You'd think we'd be fucked at this point, but nah, it's cool. After some more exploring and getting horribly lost because the lower levels all look the same, we make it back to the treasure room and go beyond that to fight Jafar. Maleficent and Jafar discussing how Sora could be so persistent. Jafar's about to suggest telling Riku about the situation, but we rush in and stop him. Maleficent proceeds to do what I do when I don't want to talk to someone I don't know. Aladdin demands that Jasmine be released, which Jafar instantly spills the beans about his plan in an attempt to boast. Not the best move, but you know. In a smarter move, he uses his second wish to send Genie after us, and so Jafar's boss fight begins. This fight is a lot of chasing Jafar around since he likes to fly and teleport. Genie's also here, but he's not really much of a threat, so don't worry about him. Really, this is another contender for an annoying boss fight that won't hold still. Glad Agrabah's going like 3 for 3 on these so far. Thunder's a good way to deal with Jafar. Wish I had rebounded to a shortcut by now, but gravity's one hell of a drug. After enough chasing, we beat Jafar, leveling us up and giving us Air Combo Plus. This gives us another move in our Air Combo before a finisher. It's nice, but not always needed, and sometimes can actually be detrimental. Jafar's defeat also grants us the power of ice once again, upgrading Blizzard to Blizzara. Excellent. We rush over to Jasmine, but Jafar uses his final wish to make him into a genie. He breaks the floor and patiently waits for us to pursue him. Very kind of you, Jafar. We jump in and see Swole Genie Jafar. How can we defeat Jafar after he's purchased the anchor arms? By hitting his length that Iago is flying around with. And we do that while the arena we're fighting constantly shifts up and down. Oh, cool. We're 4 for 4 on these boss fights. Thank you for this bounty, Agrabah. I also finally fixed my camera position on the stream, so there you go for those of you that were screaming about it. Our game plan for this was to constantly pursue Iago and beat the shit out of him with air combos since he's pretty resistant to magic, even being completely immune to thunder. Man, there goes my favorite spell. What is good is that after flying, Iago has to rest, so we used that opportunity to beat the shit out of him with Ripple Drive. After a long fight of chasing Iago around, and mostly nothing happening if I'm being honest, we win and set Jafar into his new New York apartment. That'll be $200,000 a month, Jafar. Hope you got the cash. This gives us the power of fire once again, upgrading fire to Fira. Man, we're getting all the magic here, aren't we? Unfortunately, the price of magic is high, as Jasmine gets kidnapped while we were screwing around out there. And while Aladdin is having a panic attack about Jasmine, we seal Agrabah's keyhole. But we're not done yet. It's the Cave of Wonders after all, so it's time for us to ride the magic carpet out as it collapses. And Yeah, it's not great. It's not even that hard. It's just not interesting. But hey, at least I can fly a magic carpet better than a plane than DMC1. I can't fucking see. I can't. This is so shit. We escape the cave and take Aladdin back to his home. Farm that Jasmine isn't in the world anymore, just ignoring that whole world order thing we established a little while ago. Aladdin says he wants to come with us, but that would violate the world. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever, fine. Genie says that Aladdin could use his final wish to get Jasmine back, but of course we know that Aladdin is a man of his word and uses his final wish to release Genie. With Genie freed, Aladdin says that he could go with us to help find Jasmine. Genie acts like he's not going to, but he's totally going to. Which means Genie's a summon now, baby! He's really strong, but by God, I didn't use him a single time because I just kind of forgot about him. But you should use him, he's very strong. Back with the League of Super Evil, Hades says that Jafar would have had them if Riku had helped. But Riku says his only job was to kidnap Jasmine. And after Maleficent says Jafar was consumed by his own hatred, she then reminds Hades to keep a cool head. Hades then says that if Riku keeps helping them, they'll grant his wish and bring him Kairi. It takes a bit for Riku to notice that they said this.
Kairi!
Captain Hook then offers to bring Riku to Kairi, but Riku actually questions what the catch is, so he's got some brains up there. Maleficent then puts on the Motherly Act, which is absolutely just doesn't work.
I seriously doubt that.
But she reminds Riku she kept her end of the deal, and that makes Riku storm off. Back with the boys, Aladdin gives us the 3 Wishes keychain, teaches us the Green Trinity. Thanks, Street Rat, affectionate. Despite the name, the keychain doesn't actually give us any extreme NP, but it's got more strength, so we'll take it. And with the Green Trinity, the trio also talks about the one in the accessory shop in Traverse Town. So we head over there, do it, and it gives us access to the synthesis shop. Now we can finally use materials to synthesize equipment and items. It won't be much use to us now, but it will play a massive role later. At the moment, I use it to get the magic armlet and gives us 1 more MP. I don't equip it right away, but I'm glad to have them. And since we found the torn page earlier, it's time to head back to the 100-acre wood. Hop in and find Pooh Bear's house. He laments not having any honey. He's also got a free elixir in his cabinet here. Hey, it's free if I don't have to pay for it. As we leave, Owl's back in the woods and tells us we can't do anything if we don't have the torn page, which we already knew from Merlin, but thanks, Owl. So we head over to the giant tree and we find Piglet. He also asks where Pooh is, but gets scared off by Sora. But after we track him down, Sora's able to calm him down before Piglet tells Sora that he has something he needs to give to Pooh. And speaking of the bear, there he is. And the thing he has to give? A balloon. That way Pooh can fly up and eat all the honey he wants from this tree. But Dr. Bees won't like that, so we'll have to protect Pooh from the bees as he ascends and snacks. This minigame sure is something. It's mostly just a lot of waiting for Pooh to slowly float up and snack on honey once he finally gets there. And after we defend Pooh for 3 minutes and he gorges himself on honey, we get the nature spark. We bring it to the fairy godmother and now we get Bambi as a summon. Sadly, Bambi's summon is not summoning a hunter to instantly kill someone close to us for maximum emotional damage. Instead, Bambi frolics around. Every time he hits the ground, he generates a ton of MP prizes, meaning we can get a ton of spells whilst Bambi is summoned. What's also useful is that when we fill the meter Bambi has by killing enemies, Bambi drops an item for us. Extremely useful for farming when we need to do it later. But it's finally time to head out of here. Let's head to this next world. I hope nothing bad happens. Ah. Well, that's not great, is it?
So, Tone, where are we going?
All right, let's go to
We're going ocean, right?
the city. No.
Yeah, ocean.
No,
Ocean, right?
no.
Ocean?
So instead of being dead, we get a flashback of Sora and Riku talking about fighting a monster that might be in this cave. When they get in there, it's just the wind. This is when they first find the door to the world, not that it really mattered to them. This is also where they first discuss leaving the island there when they're older, going on real adventures. Oh, how little they know. But enough dilly-dallied, Sora, we're inside a whale! Donald and Goofy found Pinocchio, who's currently digging through items before running off to Geppetto. Having a chat with them, it seems their boat was also swallowed up by Monstro, which isn't surprising considering Monstro is the size of a world. Chatting with him, Geppetto says he was searching all over for Pinocchio. Man, I sure hope Pinocchio doesn't wander. Oh, god damn it. We go after him and Sora decides the way to handle this is by letting the child come back, and then instantly turn his back on said child. I know Sora is a kid too, but come on. Doing this lets Riku sneak up on us. He says he's been playing with Pinocchio and runs off with him. Great, thanks Riku. I do love my live reaction in this moment though. Riku's such a fucking jackass in this game. It's like, I know something, Sora. I'll never tell though, bye. It's like, okay. Now, getting around Monstro is pretty strange. The way it's laid out and everything looking the same with these multicolored cell walls, it's really easy to get lost, but it'll be fine. We do get to show off how our new max MP of 7 is just really strong. It's only up from here. Get excited. After enough wandering around, we see a scene of Maleficent and Riku. With Maleficent once again running right, Riku still cares about Sora, since Sora clearly abandoned him, obviously. Riku says he was just messing with him, but Maleficent reminds Riku to beware the darkness within his heart, as the heartless prey upon it. Riku then shouts at Maleficent, and that's that. We then see the trio chasing Pinocchio and run into Riku again. We have another argument about Sora abandoning Kairi, but before it can escalate, we hear Pinocchio scream, "We better go save him!" Damn, I guess Pinocchio still is just a rat in a cage. Interestingly, in this fight against the Parasite Cage, Riku helps us along with Donald and Goofy. Hard to tell what he's doing since this is also where I give Simba a shot. Sadly, Simba does not do a lot of damage since he does the same type of damage as Gravity at max charge, which 90% of bosses have a very high resistance to, but you know, whatever. But after a pretty easy fight, the Parasite Cage jumps further into Monstro. This also gives Goofy the skill Cheer, which is a passive that lets us have summons out for longer. Very helpful for those that love to use summons. We hop down to chase after Parasite Cage, which leads us back to Monstro's mouth. Don't question it, you'll just hurt yourself. Here we find Riku kidnapping Pinocchio despite Geppetto's pleas. Apparently Riku wants Pinocchio because he's a puppet that has a heart, so he can possibly help someone who's lost theirs. You know, it's funny thinking about this in retrospect, you know? Sora wonders if this is about Kairi, but Riku doesn't answer and simply chooses to walk away. Well, no time like the present. We better find all the items in this room that we missed. Most importantly is the Water Gleam, which will later allow us to summon Dumbo. We also open this chest that has the ability High Jump, extremely helpful for getting around, and since it's a shared ability, we don't need to worry about taking up AP. Thank the Lord. With High Jump, we use it to pursue Riku into the stomach. Do not know how that works from this angle, but again, don't question it. We demand Riku release Pinocchio, but apparently Pinocchio lost his heart to the Heartless in the span of like 10 minutes. Riku uses this as an opportunity to ask Sora to join him, with this maybe being able to help Kairi. Obviously, Sora refuses.
You'd rather fight me? Over a puppet that has no heart?
Heart or no heart, at least he still has a conscience.
While Sora and Riku argue, Jiminy runs over to check on Pinocchio, which leads to this.
I'm not gonna make it. Oh. I guess I'm okay.
And then the Parasite Cage comes in with a steel chair! Riku dips, so it's time for us to kick its ass. The second fight against Parasite Cage is way more difficult since the area is smaller and there's acid in the room that will damage us when we stand on it for too long. But really, the real threat is the immense amount of damage it does, which does not go well for us, especially on this attempt I tried spamming Gravity with Bambi. Pro tip, use Thunder instead if you're gonna do this. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is just annoying more than anything. Oh, good start. And remember guys, we're playing this on normal, not proud mode. I do wish there's one more piece of magic we really need to go sicko mode on bosses like this though. We don't have it yet. There we go, we got him. Whew. Yeah, that's a wake-up call. Welcome back. It's been a day. You don't have your skills from yesterday. Here's a boss that's really annoying. Enjoy. With Parasite Cage's demise, we get the power of time, giving us the spell Stop. Excellent spell, allowing us to slam gym enemies for a bit when they're frozen in place. Though they won't take immediate damage while Stop is in effect, it is way more helpful at first than you think it is. Trust me. We then see Riku aboard Captain Hook's ship. He looks over an unconscious Kairi, with Maleficent saying the Heartless have taken her heart. So Kairi's simply a lifeless puppet right now. Oh man, I wonder why she said that. Oh shit, can't figure that out. Riku asks what he can do, to which Maleficent informs him about the 7 Princesses of Heart. And if they gather all of them, it will open the door to all worlds, which will absolutely give Riku away to restore Kairi. No tricks, we swear. Maleficent then gives Riku a gift, the ability to control the Heartless. Aw shit, he's gonna go sicko mode now. Back with the crew, Monstro sneezes them out, so we're finally free. Fantastic, no more whales for a while, please. Sora then says his magic might be as good as Donald's, which of course Donald refutes. So to settle it, we head back to Traverse Town and talk to Merlin, who gives us the Spellbinder keychain, which I equipped with zero hesitation because since it increases our max MP by 2, it gives us a whopping 9 max MP. Good shit. We also talk to the Fairy Godmother to get our Dumbo ready for summons. Dumbo is okay, being able to spray enemies with a continuous stream of water for decent damage, though I only used him a single time. Does make you invincible while he's out, so that's nice. And now, let me show you the beauty of stop and jump canceling.
Do it one more time.
Jumping too short.
Yeah, so basically when something's stopped, all the damage that you do to them is stored. I hope you're ready.
Let us test out this newfound power. There's a new tournament in the Coliseum, so let's give it a shot.
Awesome, cool. Thank you, Squeenix.
Oh, arrogance, you sly dog, killing me once again. I'll be back later. We head out and arrive to another world that totally didn't get my stream muted every single time. Square Enix, what the fuck?
Did you cut to commercial? No? Did you not? Why not? Just fade. Just fade to black. And fade. There we go.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Also known as Baby's First Goth Media. That might sound insulting, but I do really like the movie. What's also interesting about this world is that the trio changes forms a bit so they actually can blend into the world better. I don't know who on the design team made this choice, but thank you, it's really nice. Walking into town, we find a group of Heartless, but they don't do anything. Turns out they're just backup for the main attraction, Jack Skellington. He's also been using the Heartless for his Halloween show, but since he thinks their movements are too stiff, he heads over to the doctors to fix them up. We should probably go check that out, yeah? Getting to Dr. Finkelstein's lab, which I'm just gonna call him the doctor because fuck reading that every single time, we see him and Jack trying to figure out why the ghosts won't move like they wanted. And Jack decides, well, I'll let him say it.
Why, of course. The Heartless need a heart.
Thanks, Jack. Real good peepers you got there. The doctor says hearts are easy to make, and Jack just reads the instructions, which say,
Make a heart. First, take a container with a lock.
I love that the doctor just has this ready to go. But they can't lock it, because why would you make a lock without the key of some kind? Yeah, why would you do that? And with zero hesitation, Sora decides to unlock the heart, no questions asked. Sora, my dude, my guy, my main squeeze, let me make this perfectly clear for you. There is a Heartless in the room. Well, I tried. Now, the Doctor and Jack have a chance to... Oh, no, there they go. Man, I sure hope nothing bad comes of this.
The Heartless are completely out of control! We can't stop them!
Yeah, welcome to the find out phase, lads. Unsurprisingly, the Heartless are now acting like we'd expect them to, trying to destroy Halloween Town. And since we have a total of 9 MP, we chew through these Heartless like they're nothing. God, I love magic in this game. Our goal right now is to find Sally, and lucky us, she's in the graveyard. Man, I sure hope I don't have to constantly kill the Heartless in this room to get through it every time. That'd be awful. Anyways, Sally asks if something's wrong. Jack says no, and then asks Sally for memory, to which she gives Jack a forget-me-not herb. Close enough, I guess. Sally does ask Jack to try something else, but if you've seen the film, you know Jack's completely focused on one thing and everything else is noise. So we head back and the 3 little shits emerge, Lock, Shock, and Barrel, and they immediately plan to tell Oogie Boogie about the heart Jack's making. God, these kids deserve to get their shit rocked. Getting back to the doctors, we give them the forget-me-not, but then we're told the heart means surprise. I'm surprised you attempted this experiment without all the required materials. Do I gotta get Dr. Doppler out here and we have an argument about who's the worst scientist? We then cut to Oogie Boogie and he decides he's going to steal the heart that Jack's making and use it to control the Heartless. You know, man, you could just ask Maleficent. Time to get back to the graveyard.
Well, no, don't come back. Why'd you fade back in? I got other evil stuff to do.
On our way through, we find some white mushroom heartless. These guys you want to hit with a specific spell depending on how they act, giving you prizes if you're correct. Though the items are nothing to write home about, so don't worry about them too much just yet. They're far more important later. For now, we hop into this coffin to get further into the graveyard, play a Simon Says game, and get a Jack in the Box, which is the surprise we need. Time to go all the way back to the doctor's lab again. Sure hope that's not a recurring thing in this world. And now with the heart complete, it's time to finally... I'm gonna kill some kids today. Luckily, Zero, not that Zero or that Zero, is here to save the day by leading us to the bat. I need the children. So it's time to run all the way back to the graveyard. But at least we get to see the iconic hill from the hit video game Okage Shadow King. I bet like 3 people out there know what that game is. If you don't, I have a video on it, so there you go. I also didn't totally fall into this passage here, sending me all the way back to the town's plaza. Nope, didn't happen. I wasn't pissed at all. I had to fight all the way back. No, sir. We finally make our way to Oogie Boogie's mansion, to which Jack says he's not at all surprised that Oogie Boogie is involved, and really neither am I. He is the main villain of the movie, after all. And now it's time to make our ascent to the top of the house, which is done in part by this platform we have to start up with fire, and I love that it instantly leaves when I start it. It's great. What's also great is Hurricane Blast sending me flying over the edge as I fight these Heartless.
Oh, Sora, no!
Oh, God damn it. But after a bit of work, we finally get upstairs and... Alright, that's it. I'm waterboarding these kids. Let's get them, Dumbo! Damn, they have tiny hitboxes. It's just like the rat in Dragon Ball Fighters. But tiny hitboxes or not, we dunk on the kids easy peasy. This doll Goofy just beating the shit out of Barrel at the end of that. Beautiful. Love to see it. Of course, they did instantly shift the blame and fight amongst themselves. At least they told us Oogie Boogie did it. Wait, we already knew that. I then proceed to get extremely lost while trying to open the screen door. Turns out I didn't interact with the switch in the kids' room, so yep, that's cool. It didn't take me like 15 minutes to come back and try that again. No, this area absolutely isn't getting on my nerves in the slightest with its layout. Nope, that's great. But getting inside, we find Oogie Boogie, and he devours the heart we stole. And rev up those fryers, it's time to deal with one of the worst bosses in the game. Oogie Boogie locks us in a giant roulette wheel. What we have to do is wait for Oogie Boogie to stop throwing dice and traps at us, and then lock him in place with these buttons on the wheel. We then get to beat him up for around 10 seconds? And then we're kicked off the platform and have to do it again. This is the entire boss fight. Now, as some of you may know, I do not like bosses that force me to sit and wait before I can do something. It makes me feel like the game's just wasting my time, and I could just be doing something else entirely and more interesting. Sure, I'm dodging the dice and attacks, and some of the dice I can actually knock back, but that's not a lot. I came here to play Kingdom Hearts, not Daigata Defenders. We can't attack him with magic while we're on the roulette, but Squeenix knew this and gave him a fuck ton of resistance to everything. Oh, and he can heal. Thank you, Squeenix. Very cool fight. This fight only lasts 5 minutes, but I want those 5 minutes back. With his defeat, Oogie Boogie splits at his seams, quite literally, and reduced to nothing but bugs, Sora also shows that he's far more merciful than Santa, and he doesn't crush what I'm assuming is the main bug. Alright guys, we got the heart. Time to head home. Man, I can't believe Square Enix would rip off Monster House 4 years before it came out. We now get to climb all over Oogie Boogie's house to destroy the many shadow blobs on it to beat him. And funny enough, despite having to climb up a giant structure that wants me dead, I actually enjoy this fight a lot more since I'm actively doing something. And that's something being fearing for my life when several projectiles fly in from off screen. This is where I started using arrow in boss fights more regularly, and I highly recommend it. That 50% damage reduction is amazing. And after a significant amount of time hitting these shadow globs that have way too much health and defense, we defeat Oogie Boogie for real. This levels us up and finally gives us guard. Let's go! With Oogie defeated for real, his mansion crumbles, revealing the world's keyhole. We lock it and get the power of the stars again, upgrading gravity to Gravity Rock. The new damage numbers are looking pretty nice. In the aftermath, Jack apologizes for not listening to Sally, but she says it's alright. They come up with another plan for Halloween together. Jack then says he's canceling the Heartless Halloween Festival, which is probably the best news we've heard all day here, and gives us the Pumpkinhead keychain. It's excellent for hitting enemies with as it has long reach and double crit rate. Good stuff. Sadly, it is time for the not good stuff.
has all sorts of good. It has fish in it, and it.
Aw shit, here we go again. Everyone's favorite world, Atlantica. We enter and the trio changed once again. Don't make me play this. I know my PNG model is a homestuck sea dweller, but I don't want to be here. And neither does Ariel or her friends as they crash into us. Ariel then wonders who we are since we look kinda weird. Surprised considering most people don't even say anything about Sora and the gang. Sora's asking how to swim well doesn't help their strange case. But Ariel decides to have Sebastian teach us. He instantly protests, but Ariel responds with,
Oh, don't worry.
and that's that. So we get a little tutorial on swimming, which is fairly straightforward to do, cool. And then the Heartless attack, so you know what that means. Underwater combat, my favorite. It's really not that bad, just jank. Just like the rest of this game, really. But after we defeat the Heartless, Sebastian says that if they chase the three of them all the way there, then the palace could be in danger too. We better go save Triton. You know, the most powerful guy in the movie. Okay, yeah, sure. Thankfully for us, we just follow these Triton logos around. We'll get there in no time. Probably goes for the Heartless too, but we'll roll that stone when we come to it. I am grateful that they are here though, because it's really easy to get lost in these areas. What really sucks right now is that Atlantica doesn't let us use Ripple Drive. In fact, we can't use any of our unique finishers in here. So when we run out of NP, we're at a bit of a disadvantage. Good thing we got Pumpkinhead for that extra damage. Making our way over to the palace, we're pursued by the Heartless inside, but Triton instantly obliterates them. Man, I wish I could do that right now. Triton says it's all thanks to his trident, and I hope he knows he's going to lose it by bringing in so much attention to it. Sorry buddy, that's just how plots work. Triton is about to argue with Ariel about her leaving the palace again, but he's cut short as he sees Sora and the others. We tell him we're searching for the keyhole, but he instantly shuts us down, even stopping Ariel when she tries to speak for us. This makes everyone storm off, with Triton wondering if he said the right thing. I'm gonna go with no. I know you want to protect her and all, man, but come on now. He then asks Sebastian about the origin of the Heartless, and it seems they're coming from Ursula's, which surprises neither Triton nor me.
I knew it! That sea witch is up to no good again!
We then follow Ariel to her grotto, where she shares the same desire that Sora had to explore other worlds, always wanting more. Wait, Ariel then suggests we try to find the keyhole, but Sora's saying that Triton didn't really want us to go find it. This makes Ariel snap back, saying that Triton didn't understand her at all. Unknowingly to her, Sebastian was just within earshot of this outburst, as were Ursula's eels. And man, Ursula is just thrilled at Ariel being this naive. Can we just not do that camera angle again? Thanks. I would really appreciate it if that camera angle never happened a second time. But now it's time for us to find the keyhole. Where is it? I don't know. We've given no leads or breadcrumbs or anything. We just gotta search around this giant fucking area and find it. There is a good 15 minutes of me wandering around without knowing where to go, especially because so many of these areas have 3 to 4 exits and all of them are blue. And you know what we have to do? Grab onto this dolphin in an adjacent area that happens to swim against this current into another area, thus getting you farther. Oh yeah, obviously. I say that this is adventure game logic, but it comes nowhere close to the worst I've ever seen of it. It's just annoying. This leads us to a sunken ship. Ooh. We swim inside, get attacked by a shark, and we find a crystal trident inside. It's just like that one at Ariel's place. Time to swim all the way back in. Look out, Sora, it's a whole ass shark! I love when stop works on bosses. Bringing the crystal trident back and placing it in the plaque in Ariel's room, Triton storms in, saying Ariel disobeyed him again and destroys the trident in a fit of rage. Hey man, take it easy with that foreshadowing. This makes Ariel swim out and allowing Triton to talk with Sora privately, and he knew all along we were from another world and is here to berate us for meddling in the affairs of them. Ah yes, there it is. Glad the world order is only relevant when we need it to be. And of course, it's one of the more controlling Disney characters that has to do this. But after chewing Sora out, Triton leaves and tells Sora to piss off. We then see Ariel crying, which allows Ursula to swoop in and take advantage of her depressed state. For what? Triton's trident, of course. Are in the guise of finding the keyhole so Ariel can explore other worlds, just like Sora. Better get in there and too late. Luckily, Ursula is unable to find the keyhole, so she just retreats. With Ariel regretting what just happened, she rejoins us and we go to stop Ursula. I sure hope it's close by. In the meantime, check out how powerful Gravity Rod is. I love gravity. You know what's funny is that Gravity can still level up one more time into Graviga, so we're almost, it's not at its full potential yet. As for where to go, if you guessed all the way back at the sunken ship, you win. Can you please stop doing this for the later areas, Squeenix? Sebastian presses a button for us, which I'm sure Sora could have just hit. Fucking Keyblade, like come on now. And we enter Ursula's domain. Within a couple of minutes, we're ready to fight her. Now Ursula, which sea would a sea witch see if a sea witch could see sea? I gotta stop doing this. But now it's time to listen to Triton's advice and hit the cauldron with magic. I am extremely underwhelmed. So what we have to do is hit the cauldron with the correct magic, so it explodes and it stuns Ursula. There is no way of knowing what spell we need to use, so just use all of them until one works. You can't fight Ursula if she's not stunned. Why? Well... this laugh will haunt me in my nightmares. This whole section is exacerbated by Ursula being completely immune to magic, so I can't just spam Blizzard or Thunder to deal with her. And while she's spinning, the Keyblade can't do shit. So we have to use the Cauldron, then hit her. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This sucks. I get the idea, but I think some better indicators could have helped a lot. Instead, Ursula's fight feels a lot like Oogie Boogie's, which is not a compliment. But we're still able to beat her, leveling us up and giving us Aerial Sweep. A handy attack allowing you to spin around the Keyblade against enemies above us. Very handy. You know, when we're not underwater. But back in Atlantica, Flotsam and Jetsam explode. Ursula swims off, so we have to chase her. Luckily, Ariel gives us the mermaid kick ability, letting us get around this godforsaken world a little bit faster. You could have given this to me far sooner, you know that, right? We use this newfound speed to pursue Ursula into this big open area where she uses the Trident to become massive, which is something she really likes to do in this series. However, what she doesn't know is that I've played Noita for almost 300 hours and did a little prep work. Who's ready for a little wizard trolling? Not so fast, you're right.
Force! Stop! Force! Force! Stop! Force! Force! Stop! See ya! See ya! Here! See ya! See ya! Stop! Force! Force!
Gaming.
Force! Force! Stop!
I'm out. How'd that do? Holy shit, look at that damage. Shout out to this comment on Reddit that helped me fully understand the stop plus gravity combo. There's a lot more bosses in this game that are vulnerable to stop, so be sure to give it a shot on your own. But since Sora's out of blue power, we have to fight Ursula normally now, which can be quite tricky since Ursula has this move that spams lightning pillars everywhere, and she tries to suck us toward her to bite us. Two attacks that can easily delete you, as it did on my first attempt.
My name is Wizard. Lawton the Wizard. And while I have no grudge against you...
It do be that way sometimes. But with Ursula defeated, we get Thunder upgraded to Thundara. We finally return the Triton to Trident, and he asks us to seal the keyhole. You know, that thing we wanted to do from the start, but he wouldn't listen? Love to see it. Oh, and the keyholes in Ariel's grotto. Doesn't feel like the best idea to have our house there, but what do I know? We head over, use the Trident to spawn the keyhole, and lock it. Another happy day. Ariel then asks what Sora's world is like, and he apologizes for lying. Ariel accepts it and says that if Sora can travel to different worlds, then maybe so can she. You know, Ariel, maybe one day you will. For giving Ariel this hope and saving her father, she gives us the Crab Claw keychain. It's okay. It gives us a balance between physical and magic, though I'd recommend swapping to Spellbinder when you're going to do big damage with magic. But guess what, guys? We can finally leave. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go to the next world. Get me out. Get me out. Place sucks.
Yarg! I finally got me booty!
As we fly to the next destination, a giant ship flies by and rams us. Welcome to Neverland, kind of. It's mostly Captain Hook's ship, and there is not a speck or piece of dirt anywhere of any land. But on this ship, we find Riku. Sora asks where Doll and Goofy are, with Riku saying he must not care about his old friends. Riku then shows Sora he's found Kairi. She's not looking so hot, dude. Maybe you should get her like a water or a Gatorade or something. Sora tries to approach but is stopped by Hook. Sora then demands to know why Riku's siding with the Heartless, and Riku reveals that he can control them, to which Sora has the best reaction to.
You're stupid!
After this, Riku makes the Heartless version of Sora appear and drops Sora into the brig. Riku then tells Hook and Smee to keep an eye on Sora, but they refuse to go into the hold since it's full of Heartless. At least we don't have to deal with them just yet, though we do get to see Hook have a small panic attack at the possible sound of a crocodile that attacked him, which is understandable, considering. In the hold, Sora gets Doll and Goofy up to speed, but then we see Peter Pan fly in.
I'm the answer to your prayers.
I did not ask for a twink, go away.
Okay then, fine, have it your way.
But you're stuck in here too, aren't you?
He's here to find Wendy with the help of Tinkerbell, though it turns out there's another girl with Wendy, which makes Tinkerbell leave in a jealous fit, which is very in character for her, honestly. Pan then agrees to work with Sora until they find Wendy, and we can now explore the ship. First things first, this place is cramped. There's only a few areas that aren't, but those that are can suffer from the camera not wanting to let you see what you're doing when you fight. Speaking of, that Shadow Sora from earlier, he's here to follow us around fights in almost every room. He can be dangerous, however, he is vulnerable to stop, so... Sadly, he's got too little health for the gravity trick we use on Ursula to be effective, so just beat his ass when he shows up. But after that, Goofy asks Pan how he can fly, to which he offers to teach us. He has Tinkerbell sprinkle us with pixie dust, and... it doesn't work. Oh well. Then cut to Hook and Riku talking about the 7 Princesses of Light, or Heart, what, I don't know, it's one of the two. Apparently Wendy isn't one of them. Riku then tells Hook to hoist the anchor and leave Wendy behind. I guess you're just gonna let a trial drown then, huh, Riku? I see how it is. Hook then says Kairi's heart was devoured by the Heartless and it's probably gone forever. But Riku's determined to fight it, and no middle-aged man's gonna stop him. Hook then gets a call from Smee informing him that everyone escaped the hold and that they're with Peter Pan. Hook tells Smee to bring the hostage to his cabin. That's probably not good. Back with the gang, they found Wendy, though they're a floor below them, but hey, it's something. Sora asks if Kairi's there, and Wendy confirms that she is, though she hasn't moved at all. Yeah, Kairi's still not looking great. Sora reaches out to her, and Kairi just barely moves her arm towards Sora. This happiness is short-lived, however, as Wendy and Kairi are hauled off by Hook's pirates. Quickly uses Green Trinity on the floor and climb up, getting us into Hook's cabin, but sadly we're too late, as Riku takes Kairi away and summons Anti-Sora to fight us. Time for another boss fight. Anti-Sora is, well, Sora, but evil. Luckily, he only uses Sora's Keyblade attacks. If he used our magic, we'd probably be reduced to ashes on the spot. Just like Shadow Sora before, Anti-Sora is also vulnerable to stop. Though I did try the funny combo, he was in a weird position on the couch, so Gravity Rod just disappeared before it worked. He is vulnerable to gravity, by the way, it just didn't work here for some reason. With my NP spent, I'm stuck doing normal combos and dealing damage with Ripple Drive, just like the peasant that I am, with the occasional cast of Stop for extra damage, of course. The most difficult part of this fight starts when we get Anti-Sora down to around half HP, where he summons copies of himself. They don't have a lot of health, but because of the awkward nature of Hook's cabin, you can get overwhelmed pretty easily. This is also where I learned that if you guard in this game and it deflects an attack, you can't guard again as Sora is staggered, which really sucks considering my muscle memory from all the other games that do let you do that. It gets a little hairy near the end, but we are able to take out Anti-Sora. We then drop down to what I'm assuming is the other hold, and we find Wendy passed out. As Pan goes to check on her, Tinkerbell storms off in jealousy again. This is where Pan separates from us since he fulfilled his end of the deal. Fair enough. Later, Peter. We then run back upstairs and face off against Hook on the deck of the ship. He tells us Riku ran off to where Maleficent's residing, Hollow Bastion. He also reveals that he took Tinkerbell hostage. How does this always happen to her? It's not looking good, Sora, but it's fine. You have stop magic, so you can just... Damn, that's right, we can't do that in cutscenes. Shit. So Hook gives us an ultimatum. Either give him the Keyblade or walk the plank. Before Hook can follow up on that, the crocodile that took his hand is back, so Hook runs into his cabin, leaving everything to Smee. I'm not leaving anything out, by the way, this cutscene is just as weirdly paced. But with Sora choosing the plank, he reaches the edge and remembers what Pan told him. He just has to believe and he can fly. Let's test that theory.
Change the world, my final message, goodbye.
Just kidding, of course Sora can fly. And while Smee is surprised at this, Pan swoops in and gets Tinkerbell back from him. Of course Panford come back for us. What, you stupid? This also, for some reason, gives us the power of healing, upgrading Cure to Cura. But also, now we can fly. but only in Neverland. It's far more fun than using swimming in Atlantica in my opinion, so it gets points. And after beating the Heartless, we trick Hook to go outside and Pan stabs him in the ass. Time to fight Captain Hook, and he can be really dangerous. Not only does it do big damage with his rapier, but the battleship Heartless flying around can also do big damage, or, like I unfortunately found out, can lob firebombs, setting Hook on fire as well, making him run around blindly and, yeah, so be careful with fire magic in this fight. On the run back, I decided to equip the Pumpkinhead keychain instead, since at the time I was convinced Hook was immune to stop. He's not. But I switched my tactics from spamming magic to actually fighting Hook in a proper duel. Well, as proper as a fight between 3 people at once can be for him. And I do have to say, I love how much of Hook's personality is shown off in this fight. Like here, he gets really mad at us, charges straight at us, leaping way higher than he normally does. But when he realizes he's going over his ship, he cartoonishly flies back to the center before realizing he's not staying on solid ground and falling back down. It's such a brief little thing, but I absolutely love it. As for the actual strategy we use, we focus on attacking Hook, though we have to be careful because if he gets hit enough, he'll rush us with his rapier attacks, and they are unblockable, but after he does enough of them, which is about 3, he becomes tired, so we can rush in using Sonic Blade for big damage. You can also just fly off the boat away from Hook and heal yourself if you have to, which is very in the spirit of Peter Pan. I also learned that you can just walk out the door here mid-boss fight, restock your items, come back, and Hook doesn't get his own health back. I feel like that might have been an oversight, but we defeat Hook and we level up again, giving us the Leap Racer. One of the best support abilities in the game. It makes us invincible while we cast Cure. Good shit. We then knock Hook overboard, landing him right in front of the crocodile from before, making him run away across the ocean. Later, Hook. This also grants us Ars Arcanum. Similar to Sonic Blade, Ars Arcanum is a special attack that we can use on the ground close to an enemy at the cost of 3 MP. It has Sora rush to the enemy with a 7-hit combo, after which you can extend it with the bash command that's added for a total of 13 hits. The fun part is that the final hit guarantees a critical hit, and Sora's invincible during the initial combo. Excellent ability, even if we're leaning more into magic this run. Back in Neverland, Goofy worries about Kairi not having her heart, but Donald shushes him, letting Sora revel in his new ability to fly. Sora's excited to tell Kairi about it too. Oh man, how do we tell him? But Pan suggests Sora bring Kairi here so she can try flying sometime. With that, Sora's determination to save Kairi is renewed, and he can't wait to tell her all about his adventures. Then Tinkerbell comes in, telling Pan something about the clock tower. You fly over to Legally Distinct Big Men and meet Wendy, but despite what Tinkerbell said, Wendy has nothing to say because she's one of the most unimportant characters in all of the Kingdom Hearts. Sorry, Wendy. We then fly around Huge Harry for a while before finding one of the hands of the clock isn't where they should be. We smack it back into place, revealing Neverland's keyhole. Though we're technically in England right now, let's not worry about that. We lock the keyhole and get another Navigummy block, then get the flashback from before where Sora and Riku want to explore outside of the islands. But this time they're leaving the cave. Riku turns around seeing the keyhole for the Destiny Islands. Snapping back to reality, Riku is having a good time with Maleficent. Maleficent chastises Riku for bringing Kairi here without a vessel, whatever that means, and to not rely so much on the dark powers as it could cost him his heart. But before Riku can say anything, we hear what sounds like a beast's roar echo throughout the room. Maleficent then explains it was the one who world was destroyed shortly after they stole its princess. Maleficent says Riku shouldn't fear him as he's no match for Riku's power. In fact, it's time to give Riku another power-up, and it's green, my favorite. Back to the boys, Pan and Wendy say goodbye as Pan plans on returning to Neverland. Tinkerbell gets jealous again, and Pan entrusts her to us, allowing us to summon her whenever we want. Tinkerbell's summon is support focused, giving the entire party regen while she's active. She's even able to revive Sora if he's defeated while she's active. An exceptionally helpful summon, though I personally don't use it. I like the more damaging ones. We also get the Fairy Harp keychain, but since we already have far better options, I wouldn't bother with it, he said, knowing full well past him used it. But we get one of the best abilities in the series. Glide does exactly what it says, allowing us to glide in any world. Also extremely helpful for aerial movement and avoiding damage. You're gonna want to equip this. Please do equip this. Well, time to head back to Traverse Town and get those Navigummies installed. Again. While waiting on Sid, Donald and Goofy remind Sora that he shouldn't worry since everything will work out. Yes, we need more toxic positivity. Yes, more! This will not impact Sora at all as the series goes forward. No siree. Sora even points out they haven't found the king yet, but Donald and Goofy say it'll be fine as long as they stick together and believe in themselves. It'll all work out. At this, Sora takes like the sickest weed ever. This gives Sora a vision of her grandma expositing to a child. She says people used to live in the light, loving its warmth, but as people are prone to do, they began fighting over it, wanting the light for themselves, thus creating darkness. This darkness eventually swallowed the entire world, but with several children of light surviving, they eventually rebuilt the worlds with the little light they still had, which is where we live now, but the true light is still locked away, which is why the worlds are still separated. But when the door to darkness is opened, the true light will return. Okay, Grandma, let's get you back to bed now. But before we can drag Grandma's carcass back to bed, she says that if we believe in the light, it will allow our hearts to push away the darkness. And it's revealed she was talking to Kairi all along. Oh my god! Sora snaps back from the vision, though he's not able to explain what he saw, wondering if Kairi called out to him. Sid finally reports back that the nav gummies have been installed and we're ready to go. But first, it's time to make some pit stops. Our first spot is Geppetto's place, where we can find the Wishing Star keychain. Doesn't look like much, but this bad boy always lands a critical hit. We then finally stop by the 100-acre wood again, this time to Rabbit's house. And it's here we help Pooh break and enter so we can steal the honey the Rabbit has stockpiled, by which I mean just this one jar, but still, Pooh, please, control yourself just a little bit. We also have to help Pooh get back out by helping Rabbit make some carrot top juice. Unfortunately, Tigger comes in ready to ruin the entire carrot crop. So it's time to play Pong with Tigger. This takes a while. But after we that for a bit too long, Tigger bounces away and Rabbit gives Pooh the juice. Alright, time to free him. Well, at least he's out now. With that, we're done in 100-acre wood. For now. We leave, wrap up our business in Traverse Town, and I finally give Donald and Goofy new weapons after not upgrading their gear for the whole game. But now, it's time to get revenge on the Colosseum. We try the Pegasus Cup again, and just tear ass through it until the end, where we have to fight Yuffie and Leon. This can be exceptionally overwhelming, especially since Yuffie likes to just stay far away and throw shurikens at you, while Leon decides to show you what his size 10 boot looks like on your neck. Target Yuffie first. She has much less health than Leon and can be stunned if you deflect your shurikens back at her. As for Leon, he's the same as when we first fought him, with one exception aside from more health: Limit Break mode. When he hits half HP, his sword will grow 3 sizes this day. This makes him much scarier to fight, but it will wear off if you block enough of his attacks. Or you could just be like me and flail at him until he goes down. It's simple as that. This gives us Strike Raid, another special attack where we repeatedly throw the Keyblade at a target for the low cost of 2 MP, which is insane to me because Strike Raid makes you completely invincible while you're using it. You bet your ass will be abusing that later. Come back to Herc and Phil talking about what it means to be a true hero. This conversation goes nowhere, but we do get to challenge the Hercules Cup. I'd say it goes pretty well until we get to Cloud in the 4th seed, and he is pissed. We're running it back. The scary part about Cloud is that he has super armor until you stagger him by deflecting one of his attacks, which that's gonna be a thing for a lot of bosses in the series, honestly. Some of these attacks are hard to deal with than others, especially when he starts using Sonic Slash, but the scariest part is when he pops his limit and starts using Omni Slash. You better block or dodge this, or else you're donating your liver to Avalanche. But after a struggle, we're able to beat Cloud. This gives us the Metal Chocobo keychain, which is cool. Wait, what's this? How dare you? Anyway, that's not the end of the cup. Make our way through the rest of the cup, and at the end, the boy himself challenges us. And Sora decides he wants to prove he can solo Hercules.
Try all you like, but remember you were warned.
This fight is awkward. See, Herc has a golden glow which makes him invincible. The way we get it off? Well, much like how Baldur's only weakness is the humble mistletoe, Herc's weakness is the stout wooden barrel. This is only awkward because Kingdom Hearts 1 has weird interaction boxes for a lot of things. I have to be facing the barrel, be close enough, which means more or less touching it, and not be locked onto Hercules. It's a weird hiccup in the fight, and it does not feel good. Aside from that, much like Cloud, Herc does a ton of damage if you're not careful. What you'll want to do after getting rid of Herc's invincibility is waiting for him to attack, then blocking said attack as it will leave him staggered. But if you see him either leap at you or lean forward, you might want to back away because his invincibility is coming back. Easily the most dangerous attack Hercules has is the one where he spins around with his sword. It's really hard to see where he's going to come back and hit you with. The camera's not great. Pop arrow in this fight regularly, retreat, heal when you gotta, and Herc will be no more. For our victory, we earn this big ass trophy, and Goofy gets Herc's shield, which he doesn't even use in this game, but he can't have it back, it's mine now. With that, Sora says his friends are his power, and he can stop anyone as long as he has them. Be thankful I found it before the Heartless did. Well, we did all the cups, so that's it, right? Haha, wrong! We can actually do the cups again, but this time we solo them. And these aren't just for bragging rights, they actually have their own set of rewards. So before I left, I soloed the Fill Cup, which we just crushed. This gives us Combo Plus, which allows our ground combo to have an additional attack when equipped. It's handy, but it can be detrimental in certain fights. Anything else? Oh yeah, we gotta save Kairi!
Cypher!
You must be the Belmont.
Welcome everyone to Hollow Bastion, which is one of the most iconic worlds in Kingdom Hearts. Though honestly, I could say that about every original world for this series. They all look pretty great. Sora wonders why this place feels so familiar to him before everyone brushes it off. Thanks guys. But after having a grand exploration of about 30 feet, we see Riku talking to Beast, wondering why he's even here. It's simple. Beast is too angry to dive and took Belle from him. He charges Riku and we run out of animation budget to show Beast is about to get his ass beat. This forces Sora and the others to step in. After Riku says him and Sora have always been rivals, then adds that there could only be one Keyblade wielder. Yeah, whatever you say, Riku. He's then able to rip the Keyblade away from Sora because Riku was supposed to be the true Keyblade wielder. And Riku absolutely revels in stealing the Keyblade.
But that's impossible. How did this happen? I'm the one who fought my way here with the Keyblade.
You were just the delivery boy.
He then tosses Sora a wooden sword, which is a sword made out of wood. Donald and Goofy also just ditched Sora in favor of following their mission. Thanks guys, really cool of you. Have fun opening that door with Riku and ruining everything. But as Sora lays there in despair, Beast gets up before collapsing again. And when Sora goes to help him, Beast asks why Sora's even here.
I came to fight for Belle, and though I am on my own, I will fight. I won't leave without her. That's why I'm here.
Me too. I'm not gonna give up now. I came here to find someone very important to me.
This part of the game is rough. Since the sword made out of wood is not a Keyblade, the Heartless do not give a shit if you hit them. So you'll be relying on Beast and your magic for this section. You may want to pack a lot of ethers to get your MP back, since Heartless don't flinch against the wooden sword. And my oh my, can the Heartless here be dangerous? What's more dangerous is trying to actually get around Hollow Bastion. Mentally dangerous anyway. The first problem is these bubbles here, which can either be jumped into or frozen, with both options leading to new areas. Though that's not the problem. It's the other problem, which was me getting lost for ages trying to figure out which door I missed or if there was a bubble I didn't interact with, but no, it was actually this, because I didn't interact with this fucking grate right here so Beast can break it. I had passed by this wall like 3 different times and it was only on the 4th loop that I walked up to it and it worked. What's fucked is that earlier I broke this exact same type of wall because this one is directly next to a save point, a chest, and one of the bubbles. I didn't even think about it. This is why you need giant interact boxes for stuff like this, and also just don't have something that looks like an innocuous wall next to a bunch of interactables. Like, what the fuck? Why? And after solving a big sliding gate puzzle, we finally open the front door. Oh my god, I hate this place. Then see Maleficent with all the Disney princesses and also Kairi. She then uses their hearts to reveal the final keyhole. We better stop her in like 20 to 30 minutes. Back with Sora. Yo Riku, you fat fuck, I'm here to fight you. Where are you? Beast turns around to see Belle before she seems to turn into a Heartless, pissing off Beast and having him leap at it, separating us. Okay, bye buddy, have fun in there. We then see Riku with Dawn and Goofy. Again, they weren't there a moment ago. I don't know how the hell they got in here. Riku then puts on his dark mode. Oh dear. He proceeds to taunt Sora about the darkness, and you know what? I'll just let Sora take this one.
The darkness may destroy my body, but it can't touch my heart. My heart will stay with my friends. It'll never die!
Riku then uses Riku Blast. Luckily for Sora, Goofy's here to save the day. Of course he wasn't going to betray Sora. That'd be cruel. God forbid he did something like that like 10 minutes ago or something. Nah, he didn't do that. That wasn't real. He asked Dawn to apologize to the king for him, but that won't be necessary.
We'll tie them together! Well, you know. After one and right for all.
I know now I don't need the Keyblade. I've got a better weapon. My heart! Although my heart may be weak, it's not alone. It's grown with each new experience, and it's found a home with all the friends I've made. I've become part of their heart just as they've become a part of mine. And if they think of me now and then, if they don't forget me, then our hearts will be one.
Yeah, that's right, Riku. My friends are my power. Give me that Keyblade back, it's mine. This fight is actually incredibly easy. Sure, Riku can Riku can beat your ass easily, but since I have Donald back and says AI appropriately, I'm in a way better position than he is. We also get a nice look at Squeaks' tendency to cover the screen particle effects. Just you wait until we talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, it gets so much worse. But after an ass beating, Riku runs off, and Beast returns to us. This fight also gives us the White Trinity, the final of the series. I don't know, it got pretty stale after the Green Trinity, I won't lie. We can finally explore Hollow Bastion with the crew and the Keyblade. That previous section really did make me miss it, much like Sora did, I imagine. And Dawn and Goofy are back, I guess. You know, they're here too. We get to exploring again, going through this library and solving the classic put the matching book back on the correct shelf puzzle about 7 goddamn times. There's also this stupid ass spinning shells you have to spin twice to get the only chest in them. Why? Frustratingly, half of the rewards from this are gummy blocks. Yay. Honestly, this whole library is pretty indicative of how the rest of Hollow Bastion is. Slow, plodding, and taking far too long to get anywhere. You like unskippable cutscenes? Kill me. I also like to show you these floating chests. If you don't know how to get them, you use gravity on them and bada bing bada boom, free item. But since I got pretty sick of wandering around the unskippable cutscenes, I took a quick trip back to Traverse Town to drop off some Dalmatian puppies and just fucking breathe. And heading back, we wander around some more, solve some puzzles, get the emblem pieces for this door. I found part is just, it's really tedious, and the game really likes to rub it in because we need to place every part of this emblem individually. What is this, my old retail job? We then see Riku freaking out about losing the Keyblade before that mysterious rogue guy from several eons ago appears, saying Riku can finally become stronger if he opens himself up to darkness, which is green. Getting further through Hollow Bastion, we get to the part I knew would happen at least once while I was exploring here. Ah, there it is, there it is. I knew this would happen, goddammit. Fuck this area. I fucking hate how they do this with flying enemies all the time in this game. It's like, haha, what if we put them over a pit? Just fucking assholes. You're gonna massively waste your time if you try and fight them in melee. Oh, you're out of mana? Oh, sucks to suck, fucko. So climbing all the way back up, we continue to progress through Hollow Bastion, which is really beginning to feel like the final dungeon of Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. But we finally see what Riku and Maleficent are up to, and Riku sounds evil now.
The keyhole to the darkness.
Unlock it, and the Heartless will overrun this world.
And hold back your surprise, Maleficent is going to use this keyhole to use the Heartless to rule all the worlds. Wow, shocker, stop the presses. Holy shit, I didn't expect a Disney villain was gonna do that. Riku then summons a Keyblade of his own, which Maleficent really likes. Lucky for us, they can't do anything yet, since Kairi doesn't have her heart. But then Maleficent hears us approach, so she goes to deal with us, while Riku farms some darkness aura. Then enter and face down Maleficent. She says we can't stop her, so we go, yeah huh, and that triggers her.
You poor, simple fools. You think you can defeat me?
Okay, Grandma, let's get you back in bed. So you remember the Jafar fight? Maleficent is basically that, but she floats around on a big rock because she's a big fan of Mercenary Tao. This makes the fight a bit tedious, as even if you land on the platform, she'll summon a bunch of Heartless on it before quickly shoving you off of it. With that being said, she is weak to stop, though I didn't do the funny trick like I did with Ursula, but magic is still super helpful in this fight. You know what else is useful? Goofy's new skill he got while we were here, MP Gift. Goofy can sacrifice 1 MP to give someone else 3 MP. This effectively turns his entire MP bar into ethers. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now we're playing with power! The most dangerous part of this fight is when Maleficent uses Dark Meteor. They do colossal damage, so I highly recommend avoiding them until it's over, or, you know, this happens. And don't forget the particle effects! Gonna be one of those fights, isn't it? It's just gonna be really annoying. Through our clever use of magic and special attacks, we're able to beat Maleficent. She limps away, giving Dawn the ability to cheer as well, because he really likes seeing villains in pain. We chase after Maleficent, but Riku also shows up, showing off his cool new Keyblade, and it can unlock people's hearts. Wanna see him unlock a heart? This gives Maleficent a power of letting her transform into a dragon. Normally, this fight is one of the hardest of the game, but we're gonna do a little trolling. I set Goofy's AI like this and had Beast come along with us instead of Donald because Beast can hold more items. So I gave him and Goofy a bunch of ethers. And now, I present to you, Maleficent feels the force of 2 million suns. Alright. Feel the true power of heart, dickbag. This is the true power of light, you sack of shit. This is the true power of light. God, I love magic. It turned one of the most difficult bosses in the game into this.
Who wants to hold the tungsten cube? I do. Alright, here you go!
This is the true power of light, you son of a bitch! This is what you get. This is what you get for tormenting me when I was a young lady. A young man. I'm a young man. This is what you get, Maleficent. Look at your health. Look at your health in despair. I can't see. With Maleficent defeated, we get the Fire Glow, which allows us to summon Mushu. But we can't talk about that right now. Riku's here. He says Maleficent was nothing but a puppet for the Heartless before dipping again. So thanks, man. See you later. Better chase after him. And now it's time for one of the most infamous cutscenes in the game. Sora finds Kairi just on the ground. Riku, or whoever's possessed him, explains that the final keyhole will remain incomplete until Kairi's heart returns to her. And he aura farms for a moment, and he points the Keyblade towards Sora, making him clutch at his chest. Turns out Kairi's heart was in Sora all along. Which may sound like it came out of nowhere, but remember all those times we saw visions of her, or when we saw her memories? It's because Kairi's heart was with Sora all along. You know what? Good job, Kingdom Hearts. You did a decent job at foreshadowing. I hope Springly Comes for future questions doesn't become your entire identity. Christ, what have I gotten myself into? Sora demands to know who's possessing Riku, and I'll let him do the introductions.
It is I, Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness.
Well, that sounds pretty evil. Get him, Donald. Dang it. But with Ansem staring down at us and wanting to steal Kairi's heart, Sora looks like he's about to give in.
Sora!
But it's not over. Let's fucking go.
Forget it. There's no way you're taking Harry's heart.
Alright, time to fight Ansem. Oh shit, here we go again. Now, I'll explain why this cutscene is infamous. It's not the plot twist, the reveal of Ansem, or even Sora's very, very loud decree.
There's no way you're taking Harry's heart.
It's because in the original version of the game, none of the cutscenes were skippable. So you just had to sit there and wait every single time. And because this fight against Riku Ansem is so hard, like penultimate boss hard, yeah, me and many of the kids who played this when this game first came out suffered immensely because this fight is just ridiculous. So many of us have
There's no way you're taking Harry's heart.
Burned into our brains forever. And to simulate that experience on stream, I had me and my chat sit through the cutscene every single time I lost. We totally didn't start losing our minds upon the 4th retry.
It's no use.
It's no use.
Whoever you are, let Riku go. Give him back his heart.
But
Nah,
first,
he doesn't need it.
You must give
He's
the
a little
princess
bitch.
back.
You're dying, Sora. It's all over.
princess-
I put a bomb in your
It's
chest
been
as
there
a
all
joke.
along.
Say the line, Sora.
There's no way you're taking Harry's heart.
We did it! Yay! In fact, you know what? This cutscene has inspired me. So, from now on, every time we experience an unskippable cutscene on this channel, we shall count it. And of course, play the clip.
There's no way you're taking Harry's heart.
Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so remember how our last bout against Riku was really easy? Yeah, not anymore. I highly recommend Arrow for this fight because, oh my god, the damage. I also equipped Olympia and a shit ton of ethers for reasons I'll get into shortly. Since we're alone, Riku Ansem will be solely focused on us, which is probably for the best, honestly. But also, Riku Ansem has super armor. How do you even know it's on? That's the neat part. You don't. Much like with Cloud, we have to wait until we either stagger him or get a little creative. For instance, Riku Ansem likes to block so he can counter us, just like on the islands. But he didn't account for me using Strike Rate for free damage. But let's say you catch Riku Ansem during or after one of his attacks. Great, you can combo him into maybe a single finisher. As soon as you do that, guard or dodge because he will counter with this little spin move he loves so much. I kind of hate this move because I know what they're doing here. They're letting the boss break away from you so you can't infinitely combo him, which is fine, but punishing me with damage for playing correctly to get into this situation in the first place isn't great. I find it far more accessible for the boss to teleport or get knocked away in these situations. It resets both of us and I don't feel like the game is being cheap for hitting me after doing something correctly. Now, what about using magic on Riku Ansem? Well, don't spam it because it will cause him to shoot a fireball at you, but you can use it to your advantage. By baiting the shot, you can deflect it right back into his stupid face. This is actually good practice for when he's around 50 HP as he'll enter Dark Hand mode. Here his attacks gain additional effects like shockwaves or these spinning blades of darkness. The shockwaves can't be blocked because, of course, but the blades block him and get some precious damage in. Aw man, but he's not done pulling out moves, not yet. Once Riku Ansem's at his final health bar, he'll use his desperation move, Dark Aura. This has him charge through the arena before slamming into the ground, sending shockwaves everywhere. It is easily his most dangerous move, and by god he loves spamming it. Really, I think my reaction during this last attempt shows how a lot of people feel about this fight. Man, this boss can just fuck off. This is ridiculous. What a giant difficulty spike out of nowhere. The way you usually deal with Dark Aura is by waiting for him to move, then jumping and gliding around the arena, staying close to the edge until it's over. How did I deal with it? I abused Strike Rate's iframes so I wouldn't take damage. There's a reason I packed as many ethers as I could hold. Really, most of the final phase is him spamming Dark Aura and me spamming Strike Rate. Just you know what it is? Like, it's the same thing! But after enough spamming of Strike Raid, Riku Ansem finally goes down, thank god. This levels us up and gives us another copy of Air Combo Plus, as well as Ragnarok. Ragnarok is our final special attack and has Sora combo an enemy before floating into the air and we have to press triangle again. This causes us to shoot projectiles at the enemy. The shots deal damage based on your max MP, so this move is perfect for our build. At least that's what I wanted to say, but the way the game registers when you can use Ragnarok is extremely jank, so I didn't use it as much as I'd like to. Back with Riku Ansem, he dissolves into darkness, so the trio needs to figure out what to do about the final keyhole. Sora tries to seal it, but since it's not finished, he can't do that either. Well, sounds like there's only one option left for us, huh?
We gotta go wake Kairi up.
I think you're right. If we can free her heart. But how? A keyblade that unlocks people's hearts. I wonder.
Sora? Sora! Hold on!
Kairi shouts back that she won't let Sora go, but we're not allowed to even think about that because Ansem's back. Now he looks like handsome Squidward. Luckily for us, Riku's barely able to stop Ansem from moving, refusing to allow Ansem to hurt his friends. He gives them time to flee. But what's this? A single Shadow Heartless is watching them, and we can control them? I wonder why that is. But clearly we have to ask the question, can you beat Kingdom Hearts as a Shadow Heart? No, absolutely not. You can't do anything in this form aside from move around and jump, but I'm sure someone out there is gonna try. But after enough backtracking through Hollow Bastion, we meet up with the gang, getting a fantastic greeting from Donald. Hey, at least he didn't instantly kill us with lightning or something. Kairi is able to figure out that this Heartless is actually Sora, but before we could do anything, we're swamped by even more Heartless. As Donald and Goofy defend Kairi, she throws herself over Sora, trying to protect him. That's right, baby, he's back! It's like nothing ever happened. Man, I sure love when actions don't have consequences, don't you? Who the hell is that? With us still surrounded by Heartless, Beast swoops in and cuts us a path to safety, staying behind to find Belle. Funny how he couldn't find her since she's a single room away. Back in Traverse Town, we discuss what to do. The final keyhole being opened by Ansem, more and more Heartless are invading the worlds. Sora suggests sealing it, though Leon is skeptical since the final keyhole is still incomplete. But talking with everyone, they all believe Sora can do it, so by God, we're gonna do it. After we do some exploring to get some more items. Though as we do, since we've rescued Kairi, all of the Heartless in the world have been upgraded, even in Traverse Town. We now have Heartless we saw in Hollow Bastion here. It's crazy out here now. We spend a good amount of time exploring, getting items, find Dalmatians, gummy blocks, keychains, materials, all kinds of things. We even tried fighting one of the extra bosses, which, yeah, it didn't go so well, that'll be later. But I did get some levels. Most importantly, this gives us Sliding Dash, which gives Sora a gap closer move. It is so helpful, it's such a nice move. But after all our efforts, we go back to Hollow Bastion. Oh wait, we can't. Going back to Traverse Town, we ask Sid what's up, and he says there's a huge amount of Heartless. At first, Sid doesn't want us to go back, but he quickly relents and tells us where the Navi Gummy is hidden. We go in and see Kairi already there and grab the final Navi Gummy. Thank God. Though before we leave, we have a quick chat with Kairi. We talk about if things could ever be the same since Riku lost his body. But Sora says since Kairi brought him back, they'll be able to rescue Riku too. After all, Kairi's heart was able to bring Sora back. Why can't they do the same for him?
I didn't want to just forget about you, Sora. I couldn't.
That's it! Our hearts are connected. And the light from our hearts broke through the darkness. No matter how deep the darkness, a light shines within.
That being said, Kairi can't come with us.
I can't help?
You'd kind of be in my way.
Okay.
She then hands Sora the wayfinder she made, saying he better bring it back to her. Sora, of course, promises to. This gives us the Oathkeeper keychain, my personal favorite design in the series. Here it has a balance between magic and critical hits, which isn't bad. We then cut to Riku, seemingly in the realm of darkness. He's apologizing to Sora and Kairi, wanting to see them one more time before he goes. But then, he hears a voice saying that they found the other Keyblade and they'll be able to see Riku soon. For what he should do, Riku should keep moving to the door to darkness so that way it can be shut. Are you feeling Sora and Kairi okay? He puts his trust in the voice and moves forward. As do we, except we head to the Coliseum to do the Pegasus Cup solo. Never mind. Alright, guess we'll head back to Hollow Bastion for real. Beast says Belle and the other princesses have stayed in the castle. Better find out why. And now we run all the way back through Hollow Bastion again. And no, there was not an option to teleport farther in when we landed. We just have to run the whole gauntlet again because Square was smoking the good shit that day. Getting back to the library, we do run into Belle with her and Beast sharing a hug. How nice. Talking to Belle, she actually gives us the keychain Divine Rose. Very powerful yet short-range keychain. Highly recommend this one if you're going for that good physical damage. Back to the backtracking, we also make a stop to get the Royal Crown accessory since it's one of the best in the game, before finally making our way back to the princesses. Having a chat with them, we learn Ansem got sucked into the final keyhole while they were keeping the darkness from pouring out even further. Better get on that whole ceiling thing, yeah? Getting in there, we destroy all the Heartless, and we also grab the Oblivion keychain, which, I'm gonna be real, it's basically a weaker version of Divine Rose in this game. Is it iconic? Absolutely. Is it a paperweight in this game? If you can't find Divine Rose, yes, absolutely. After we destroy the rest of the heart... Surprise! There's a mini-boss in this room! This is a stealth soldier, which is similar to a normal soldier, but with one big exception. I can't fucking see it. This entire room is a death trap. There's large bodies, wizards, which are immune to magic by the way, defenders, finally ending against the cell soldiers, which are also immune to magic while they're invisible by the way. Very cool, thank you Square. It's a rough final fight, but we're not quite done yet. We gotta jump into the final keyhole for this world's final boss, the Behemoth. Much like the Cave of Wonders Guardian, we have to get to the top of the Behemoth to do damage to it, and really this fight isn't that hard, it's just tedious. Just like the Cave of Wonders Guardian. Maybe if I took Ragnarok instead of Ars Arcana, this could have gone a little faster, but, you know, live, laugh, lose your mind. Behemoth down, we go to seal the final keyhole.
Sora, you did it.
Or not. We instead have a chat with Leon and the gang since they're back in Hollow Bastion, here to give us some final exposition. See, if we defeat Ansem, all the worlds will be restored, including Destiny Islands, but it will mean the worlds will become separate again, so we won't get to see everyone we've met. But there's no need to feel down.
No matter where we are, our hearts will bring us together again.
Thanks, anime characters. Oh yeah, bada bing bada boom, no more keyhole for you. With that, we're told by the princesses that the darkness is beginning to weaken, but they can feel Ansem far away in the heart of darkness. Not that one. Sweet Jesus, not that one either. But before we head out, the princesses give us the power of fire, upgrading Fira to Firaga. Maybe this is Spec Ops The Line. Some words of encouragement from the princesses, we head up for the last worlds. Wait, hold on, I gotta go back and talk to Aerith real quick. Okay, now we can go. Wait, where am I going? Oh god, come to the next chapter, quick! So we take a little detour and attempt the Hades Cup, and it has 50 matches, goddamn. And it is filled with boss fights. Like this Behemoth with flame decals so it can go faster. What's at least nice about this is that I leveled up and got another accessory slot. Very nice. What was unnice was Cloud and Leon deciding Sora's atoms looked a little too attached to him and decided to fix that. What is nice is that we can start the Hades Cup at any 10th match that we reached, thank god. As we progress, we also get a lot of upgrades, including Blizzaga after a Behemoth, Thundaga after Cerberus, and the Lionheart keychain after beating Cloud and Leon. You know, eventually. And how's the Hades Cup end? With a fight against Hades, except not really, he's only in the 10th match. but we should give him his time in the sun. He is a unique boss fight after all. And how's it going? Oh, it's gonna be like that, huh? So first of all, this fight is in a much smaller arena, so we have far less room to dodge Hades' attacks. But to add to that, all of his attacks deal a lot of damage, as Donald and Goofy quickly find out. On top of that, Hades has so much HP, it looks like we're not dealing damage, but we are. You'd think they would account for this here, but they didn't. Now, with all that being said, Hades is actually pretty straightforward to deal with. Once he stops spamming his flamethrower and does his old fire spin, he'll do one of two moves. Either snapping his fingers, instantly hitting you, which is very, very annoying, or throwing a fireball which you can parry back at him, which stuns him. And after a long, drawn-out battle, we get his ass. Afterwards, Hades wanders off, and I don't really know what happens to him, but he's not having a good time.
What are you doing? Stop! Hey guys, get away from me!
But we are, because we got the power of the stars once again giving us Graviga. That's good shit, baby. Look at that damage formula. As for the rest of the Hades Cup, it can be a bit of a slog since the fights now have multiple waves. Is it rough? Oh yeah, but nothing the boys can't handle. It is pretty terrifying seeing 8 invisible Heartless spawn though. That's their name, by the way, not that they're actually invisible. That's not confusing at all, Squeenix, thank you. But we get to the end against the Rock Titan, and he's really easy. Smack him in the legs, then hit him in the head, repeat, and done. What an ending. It's literally just Ichigo's plan against the Menos Grande Hollow, except it actually worked.
Well, I figured if I just kept chopping away on him like a giant tree, I'd eventually bring him down to the point where I could whack him on the head.
With our victory over the Hades Cup,
Bald!
we obtain the Trinity Limit, an extremely powerful attack that costs the entirety of the party's MP to cast. I, however, did not use it a single time. Sure, it does big damage, but it also deals the same type of damage as gravity, which most bosses are extremely resistant to. And since it eats up all of our MP, it's just not worth it in my opinion. At least it looks cool. Speaking of words that align with low temperature, I attempted the gold match against the Ice Titan, and it does not go well.
This fucking sucks. What am I supposed to do about this? Gonna be one of those fights, isn't it?
After a few attempts, we decide to leave this for later, and doing another attempt against Kurt Zia for some reason. And we finally take our final gummy ship ride to our last stop, the end of the world. As we enter the end of the world, we see all that's left of the destroyed worlds.
Just a bunch of rocks.
But after a group ponder about what happens once we defeat Ansem and restore the worlds, Goofy says everyone's hearts aren't going anywhere. This makes Sora look down at the wayfinder Kairi gave him, promising to return it before the trio sets off. The first part of the end is an invisible maze, and my love for this section would go here, if I had any. It is a rough section with exceptionally dangerous encounters, and it even has traps. That's one hell of a curveball for the chest at the end of the game in an already hostile environment. There's even a fight against an archbehemoth, which is just a normal behemoth fight, but blue. Getting through this area which has another archbehemoth fight. They're really stretching this section out, aren't they? We get to this ravine. It's actually a nice chill section after the invisible maze letting us explore and find some items. Really wish they weren't mostly fucking gummy blocks. We then get here, which I like to call Reused Asset World. It's fights in arenas we've already been to, but now they give us materials for clearing them. And can I just say, this whole section gives me mixed feelings. To me, End of the World is supposed to be like the primordial area, something where everything begins and ends. And I really feel that at the start, even if I hate the invisible maze, it's got the right atmosphere, you know? But this part? No, not really. Perhaps it has to do with me playing far too many video games, but seeing reused assets like this just feels, well, reused. If this area had the reused arenas falling apart, becoming part of the end of the world, or even fusing together, I think that would have really sold the primordial feeling that they were going for here. But as we go through here, we get counterattack, which allows us to instantly attack after we deflect an attack. Weird ability, but okay. We also learn Combo Master, which allows us to do a combo without hitting an enemy, which is something I haven't really mentioned that you need to do, but it's not really been super relevant. I do wish that the games just had Combo Master on by default. I feel like they should just play like this at the gate, but you know, fine, I'll sacrifice 1 AP for it. And after a quick trip to restock, we also swing by Neverland to grab some items, including an upgrade to Arrow in this chest just randomly, which gives us Arrow Raw. Now the barrier crates also damages enemies that run into us. Very nice. Going back to the end of the world, we find an area from Hollow Bastion that we've never seen before. Turns out this is Ansem's lab. We get to learn some lore. Speedrun versions that the Heartless gather hearts to create what is known as Kingdom Hearts. We did it! We sent the thing! Alright, turn the video off. But this creates the door to darkness, which is tied to the 2 keys and can seal the light. Ooh, spooky. And speaking of spooky, it's time for us to fight the next boss, Chernobog. This fight forces us to fly the entire time, so our silly little strats won't work here. Instead, we head over to Chernobog and concuss him, just like we did against Darkseid. But unlike Darkseid, we do a little summoning. Summoning the most powerful entity ever, Mushu from Mulan. I didn't forget to talk about him, no sir. And he's pretty underwhelming here. If we were playing on Proud mode where we could do the damage storage glitch and we would just absolutely wreck Chernobog. But sadly, Eddie Murphy can't do much, even if he wasn't getting smacked every 2 seconds. So I go back to hitting Chernobog normally and gabagool, that's the fight. This does give us Super Glide, which is glide, but faster. Okay, we're almost there now. Just 1 more gauntlet to get to. We can do this. We just gotta get through another come on! After several waves of Heartless, the final path opens. And look at that! The special door is back. And so is the mysterious voice from the beginning of the game saying what it did before. We enter the door and we're back on the Destiny Islands. See, that's 2 bookends. That's how you know we're almost done. And after exploring for a bit, we hear Ansem talk about how the worlds are being swallowed by darkness and how we know so little. You know, the usual. As Destiny Islands fade away, looking way more how I would have wanted the rest of the area to look, we see Riku. He's okay. Probably. Dang it. Ansem then monologues about how darkness is the beginning and ending of all things, even the heart. Sora, of course, has a rebuttal to this philosophy.
That's not true!
Nuh-uh.
The heart may be
Fuck
weak.
you mean nuh-uh.
With Ansem then saying,
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing.
He then summons his stand and we begin the final boss fight. So Ansem's first phase, don't act surprised, of course he has multiple phases, can be rough. Much like a lot of bosses, especially in the later games, Ansem opens up with an attack nearly instantly. He also loves to fly around like a jackass, but since we have Sliding Dash and Super Glide, it's not too big a deal to keep up with him. The scariest attack is when he shouts, "Submit!" You'll want to be as far away from Ansem as possible, or else say goodbye to half of your health. Do I even need to tell you Arrow is a good idea? The other attack I need to point out is when his Guardian possesses us. This occasionally makes our attack command into freeze, stopping Sora in place for a few seconds. Luckily, using a special attack like, say, Strike Raid, can't be stopped by possession. And after a few minutes of just beating his ass, he splits the Destiny Islands in half, and then patiently waits for us to pursue him. Man, the villains in this game are really patient for us. Fully prepared, we hop in. Okay, I hop in to pursue Ansem, but not before fighting another Darkseid. Yeah, you thought we didn't need to fight it for a 3rd time today, but you thought wrong. And now it's got 3 times the health and damage. Ooh, so scary. Perish. Moving on to the real fight, Ansem 2 is much like the last fight. Only now we don't have Donald and Goofy for backup, so all the aggro is on us, which leads to some interesting interactions. Ansem does have a very scary move now where his Guardian rushes at you from the floor. Use Super Glide and you should be okay, mostly. Really, the worst part about this encounter is possession fucking you up at the worst possible time, but we still take down Ansem like the bitch he is.
Haha, fucking idiot. You fucking idiot, Ansem. That's what you get for having low HP and being vulnerable to magic like a loser.
This levels us up, giving us Berserk, an ability that increases our attack power when our HP is low. Nice to have on, but I wouldn't rely on it. But with Ansem's second defeat, he shows us Kingdom Hearts, which is a bunch of doors. Wow. He then declares there's no light to be found, even though we still have to open the doors to check. and that the darkness conquers all worlds. We turn around and Ansem is gone big mode. Doll and Goofy get sucked away and Sora falls into the darkness below. But then he hears Riku's words asking if he's really giving up that easily. And of course not, baby. Let's beat Ansem's ass.
Then perhaps this will enlighten.
Oh my god, lasers. I'm not sure lasers are enlightening as much as they just kill you. Stop. Perish. Alright. Phase 4. That probably did something. Okay, he goes, we're free, and now we gotta fight Ansem some more. Okay. Hard cut. Hard cut. Oh, hi, Goofy. Oh yeah, I can see why he was having a bad time in this room. Now Goofy's already dead. I guess I failed in my mission, technically. Alright, we're back. Do we have to fight more bullshit? I mean, probably. I looked at chat for 1 second and Sora lost half of his health in a single attack and died. Oh man. Okay, okay. It just sent us right back here. That's not too bad. I thought for a moment we had to go all the way back. It's just stupid. This sucks. In case anyone was curious, this sucks. Okay. We'll go get Donald back. Oh, hello. Yeah, glad we're fighting black-colored enemies in a black background. Very cool. Bold decision of you to do this, Square Enix. Is there any more phases of this that I have to do? Yep. Alright, let's go blow up an engine. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this fight seems unnecessarily long, but you know, it's Squeenix. They do be that way. Okay, can we go beat up Ansem now? Or do I have to wait longer? Alright, we gotta fight him like this again. Damn, I wish I could see. I can't believe you're beating up Ansem, Squidward. Alright. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Ansem. Bye-bye, handsome Squidward. It's over.
See, Ansem? It's as simple as that. And you wanna know another thing? You're ugly. After his third defeat, Ansem says there's no way we can seal the door to the Keyblade alone. He then asks if Kingdom Hearts can spare a crumb of darkness since he's been such a good boy this year. Unfortunately for him...
I know now, without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts is light.
Oh my darkness, it really is all light. With that, Ansem is defeated, so we better get on closing that door. But the trio isn't able to do it alone, and that's when Riku comes in to lend us a hand. As Riku pulls the door, even more dark sides show up. Oh man, it's not looking so good. What can we do now? That's right, baby! A mouse is in the house, and he's got the other Keyblade. Now we can close the door to darkness and save the day. All it will cost is... Mickey and Riku being trapped on the other side. Aw, man. Riku and Mickey say their goodbyes, with Riku asking Sora to look after Kairi, and we shut the door. Sora and Mickey then use their Keyblades to seal the door, and with that, the worlds are saved.
Ah, no. Just because I'm not made out of darkness doesn't mean I'm not weak to flashbangs. Stop that.
After getting rudely flashbanged by the universe, we turn around and see Kairi's here. Not literally, I think this is their hearts connecting again. And I'll just let this scene play out instead of talking over it.
Kairi!
Sora!
Kairi! Remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise!
I know you will!
With that, we see the Destiny Islands come back, and Sora fades into the darkness, cueing the credits to roll. But afterwards, the trio is discussing how they'll find Riku and Mickey, but before long, their questions might have an answer, as Pluto shows up with another letter with Mickey's seal. So they chase after Pluto, and the game comes to a close. But we're not done yet! That's right, we're clocking into overtime! Welcome to the post-game. Now, I'd like to set the expectation that I'll be doing most of this series as post-games, though specifically anything that has to do with the story, though, you know, there's still a lot of other things I did before that. But if you know anything about Kingdom Hearts post-game bosses, you already know the pain I'm in for. As for the post-game here, it is really grindy. Not for levels, no, though those still take a while, but for synthesis materials, since I want to get the Ultima Weapon keychain, and it requires us to make every single item in the synthesis shop to get access to it. Normally I just say, and then I grind it my soul away for several hours and leave it at that, but since Kingdom Hearts 1 has unique fights for each of the many different materials, we get to go into details. Hooray! First, we go around getting the rest of the Dalmatian puppies and treasures. This gives us quite a few materials, a torn page, but most importantly another upgrade for Arrow, giving us Arrowga. Now it's time to wrap up the 100-acre woods. And it really does give me 100 aches. We see Pooh and Piglet watching the river, and they see he doesn't really care if we save him or not, but I think I'll choose to save him. Doing just that, you are safe and sound, except his tail is gone. We should probably go find that, even if he says it doesn't matter if we find it or not. But how will we do that? The woods are massive. It's easy. First, we very, very slowly lead Pooh over to this swing. And then we yoot Pooh Bear over the woods. Though he actually doesn't go very far and lands right on Rabbit's little stick tent, which happens to have Eeyore's tail. How convenient. This upgrades Stop to Stopra, giving it a larger area of effect. Nice, but not needed super often. Next is the tree stumps. Here, Tigger and Roo have us jump between the tree stumps in a specific order, which is simple enough, except the game quietly disables glide and high jump without any warnings, so... The best part of this is having to watch Tigger and Roo do jumps every time you mess up, which is, of course, unskippable. Is it too early to add more to the unskippable cutscene counter? But after doing this properly and getting launched into the trees, we then have to whack these nuts into this pot to break it, which is extremely awkward since their hitboxes are really tiny and Sora starts his air combo with an upward slash. It just does not feel good. Thankfully, it's short-lived. We then get the freedom to explore the area and collect rare nuts for Owl, and we can only pick up one at a time. For fuck's sake. What's really cursed about getting these rare nuts is that most of them we can just walk up to and grab, but for some reason, one of the nuts is just riveted to the tree where they're on until we solve a puzzle. So what do we do for this one? Well, we step on this stump that goes into the ground, shooting this piece of wood into the air with a geyser, which doesn't help, but it does raise another stump that we have to go stand on to make another stump rise from another geyser, but only after the first geyser is finished going down. Then you can finally get the rare nut. This game is really lucky that the Orichalcum from this is necessary. Next up is this little field where we have to help Pooh find his friends, which absolutely isn't annoying to do in the slightest.
Alright, now all you need to do is turn left. Turn left. Turn left. Come on, turn left, you stupid fuck.
Okay, this was because I didn't actually start the minigame, but there wasn't any indication of that. But once we did start it, we have to slowly lead Pooh around the whole area to find everyone. Did I mention I'm the resident minigame hater? This doesn't take that long, but it certainly feels like it. Thankfully for our efforts, we get EXP Ring, which gives us 20% more EXP when it's equipped. That will be extremely helpful for later. With everyone back, we hang out on a hill. At night, the gang is happy to be together again, and with Pooh trying to think about what to think about. Since everyone seems to be in good hands now, Sora heads out to find his friends. Technically, we already did that, but let's not worry about that. We say our goodbyes, and Winnie the Pooh's book is finally restored. Thank God, I don't think I could have handled another minigame. I then attempted to fight the Ice Titan again. It did not work, so instead I worked more on the synthesis list. Which brings me to talking about one of the worst parts of Kingdom Hearts 1's post-game grind. As I said before, to get specific materials you need to fight rare enemies that have a low chance of appearing each time you walk into a specific room. It sucks because not only are you fighting against the item drop RNG, but also the RNG of the enemy appearing at all. As much fun as I had with Kingdom Hearts 1, this was the unfun. Even with the abilities that increase the rates of enemies appearing, it could take upwards of 20 minutes times before some of these rare encounters showed up, and I don't think I need to explain how annoying that can be. But skipping the Inuits, we head over to Wonderland and fight the Giga Shadows, which is just like normal shadows, but big. And it totally wasn't stressful at all that there was a bunch of them at once. Nope, I was totally fine.
There they are. Oh god. Get Mom, it's bad. Whew. Alright. Oh man.
There was also a couple of times during this whole grind that we fought some of the smaller white mushrooms from earlier, but I mean, they're just kind of there. You just do the correct spell on them and that's that. It's just, yeah, that's all there is to it. But after that, we head over to the deep jungle again and go to the treehouse. God willing, eventually we get the Mushroom Heartless to spawn. To hunt them down, cast Stop on them so our real target appears. The pink Agaricus. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but whatever. What we have to do is cast Stop on it and then hit it as much as possible before the spell ends. To guarantee what we want, we have to hit it 100 times, but there's still a chance at 40 to 60 hits. And how the hell do we do that? Well, we equip Ragnarok and as much max MP as possible. You'll cast Stop, then Ragnarok, and while Ragnarok's projectiles are active, hit Agaricus with an air combo, then repeat until Stop wears off. Once we get our drop, we head back and unlock the next list for the synth shop, and it's back to the jungle, baby! This time for gambling. Well, not really, but it feels that way. We now have to deal with the Black Ballad. It's a little guy that creates some clones of itself. You see one hop in the air, then they shuffle. After which we have to hit the correct one to get what rewards it has. It's only a 10% chance for what we need, but we're guaranteed the item after guessing correctly 4 times. And let me tell you, that is far more difficult than it sounds. Yep, seems fair to me. The best you can do is pause and unpause the game, but even that didn't help me much. Luckily, we get what we need and finally unlock the next synth list. Thank God, more grinding for us, let's go! Luckily for us, the next special Heartless we need to fight is right here in Traverse Town, the Sniper Wild. This turns the game into bootleg Metal Gear Solid as we have to take out these Heartless without them calling for reinforcements. And we get a chance at the drop we need every 6 of these guys we defeat, with the odds increasing every 6. So how I deal with this delicate stealth situation? By just fucking charging at them and casting Stopper repeatedly. Is this the best idea? No, absolutely not. But I got what I needed. Now it's time to deal with one of the enemies of all time, the Pot Scorpion. Here in Agrabah, a bunch of pots will spawn. What we have to do is break all of the pots except the one the Pot Scorpion is hiding in to get a chance at the drop we need. I love how many times I have to write down there's only a chance of getting these drops. It's awesome. Now there is a higher chance of getting a drop by killing the Pot Scorpion after destroying the pots, but 1, I didn't know that at the time, and 2, I found out it's far quicker to just reset the room and destroy all the pots again anyways. Now, how do we tell which pots are safe? Shove them around. If the pot doesn't move, it has a scorpion in it. Easy, simple, still tedious. Speaking of, let's break the tedium of material grinding for a little bit. Time for some Coliseum fights. First we do the Hurt Cup solo. Big shocker, Cloud's still the most dangerous part of this cup. Beating this solo gives us a copy of Critical Plus, which increases our critical hit chance even more. We always appreciate critical hits around here. Next up, I attempted the Pegasus Cup solo again. Still didn't go well, but after restocking some items, we do the Fill Cup, but now with a 3-minute time limit. Unsurprisingly, this is very easy this late into the game, so we blast through and get another tech boost. On the other side of things, we do the Hurt Cup with a time limit, which still has 3 minutes despite it being way later. You'd think 1 more minute or something would be added, but no, they just want your ass moving, and I failed to do so since Cloud and Herc are really difficult to beat quickly. So, tasting defeat, we get back to the material grind.
I imagine a lot of this is going to be cut out of the video, aside from the parts where I'm dying.
Now we're at Halloween Town to defeat another mushroom. This time it's the rare truffle. For this one, we have to juggle it in the air for at least 10 hits to get a chance at the item we need. But for the best results, we'll want to hit it at least 100 times. The way we juggle the truffle is by shoving it into the corner here, then casting Arrogon, having the barrier juggle it for us. Just make sure you cast it again before it wears off, or else you'll drop the truffle. But with our stuffed claim, we moved on to Monstro to fight the Grand Ghost, which is the simplest fight so far. The Ghost is immune to all forms of attack, so what do? Throw healing items at it. The better the item, the better the reward. Though for our purposes, I threw some high potions at it and called it a day. It's as simple as that. Now it's time for Neverland. We're up against the jet balloon, which is a little shit. It only stays around depending on how much money Sora has when the fight starts. The game doesn't tell you this, as far as I'm aware. Better kill fast! Aside from that, it's a relatively simple fight, if not annoying, since he always runs away. Can we just stop doing that, Kingdom Hearts, please? But with the jet balloon's defeat, it's time to head back to Halloween Town because it's so goddamn special. It has 2 rare Heartless. Going to the ruins of Oogie Boogie's mansion, there's a chance for the Chimera to spawn. The best part of this is not knowing if it's there or not, since you have to defeat a bunch of these Heartless before it'll spawn. Thank you, Square. Can you just stop doing this? But once it does, be prepared, since the Chimera can hit really, really hard if you're not prepared. The way this fight works is that Chimera has 2 HP bars. The first is its normal HP, and once it's gone, a new HP bar appears. So you need to beat the shit out of Chimera when this happens, and after enough hits, you'll get the drop you need. In theory, this is pretty straightforward. In practice, this can be a rough time, since even hitting Chimera at the maximum amount of times, you only have a chance at the drop because, of course. But we get what we need, and after several runs, we get the goods. There's only a few more items left to synthesize, and my patience for doing this was really wearing thin. I really don't care about doing all of it because I'm not going to use all these items, but the problem is that the only way to get access to the last thing, that being, Ultima, we have to do all of these. Like, it just sucks. Sucks and I hate it. Okay, last rare Heartless to talk about. Neo Shadows. These are easily the most annoying of the rare Heartless to fight in my opinion. They're dangerous, fast, and have an excruciatingly low chance to spawn out of all the rare Heartless. Like, there's so many times I'd walk into this room and it'd be the fucking mushrooms instead of the Neo Shadows. Why would you put these here, Squeenix? It's already difficult enough to fight the Neo Shadows and have them spawn. Why did you lower the chance even more? I'm really wondering at this point if they're actually classified as rare Heartless and are actually just a normal encounter. I really don't know. Either way, this was annoying, and of course, the Neo Shadows only have a chance to drop the item we need if we do everything correctly, and we'll need multiple of this item to finish the list. It's just... Lordy, I have a lot of footage of me running in and out of this room trying everything I can to maybe increase the chances of Neo Shadows spawning in. Equipping Encounter Plus, leaving the world, restarting the game, but they did not want to spawn. It was truly infuriating, especially since they were gatekeeping the final part of this grind. All we needed to finish this grind was the stormy stones they dropped. But if they didn't even want to appear, well, all I get is to feel is the inevitable passage of time flowing forward, which is exactly what I want to do when trying to do something like this. I do not wish for entertainment. I wish to feel the inevitable draining of a limited resource from my body that can never be replenished. Or, in layman's terms, it fucking sucks. Thankfully, after dedicating 2.5 pages of this script to talk about grinding, we can finally move on and make it a montage instead. Whee! Damn, that's a lot of Bambi footage in here. But after a lot of grinding for the day, I took a break to finally fight one of the bonus bosses for real. XIII. Now, this is an interesting fight. At the start, XIII will silence the party and create orbs in its hands. We'll have to destroy the orbs before we can cast any spells again, though we're still able to use techniques like Ragnarok. The start can be the most dangerous phase of the fight since we can't use Cure and most of Kurt's attacks are massive and deal a lot of damage. I recommend either casting Arrow or summoning Tinkerbell before you get silenced to get an edge. Once we break all the orbs, Kurt will fall over and you can attack its head. However, the head will flail at you and will still do damage. If you can, deflect the third strike it does. Stunning it will allow you to do as much damage as possible before Kurt gets back up and goes to the next phase. This is the Reflect Barrier phase. Here, you will have to cast magic on Kurt until the barrier breaks. The entire time, Kurt will be casting his own spells on you, like these tracking fireballs, and these tornadoes, which, I swear to God, hit me every single time. Honestly, this phase sucks. Not because it's hard or the magic is difficult to avoid, but just because it's this.
Thunder! 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 Thunder!
Now that's what I call gaming. Since you have to use magic on Kurt, you might be wondering what happens if you run out of MP. Well, don't worry. Each time he's hit, he drops MP prizes you can pick up. But Donald and Goofy can pick them up too. Oh, for fuck's sake. But once we do enough damage, the barrier breaks and Kurt is vulnerable once more. Again, the head flails around, so keep the strategy we discussed in the first phase in mind. And once Kurt gets back up, he goes back into his silence phase. But this time he can use this move. I truly hate it because not only is it unblockable, the hitbox is about the size of Seto Kaiba's ego. And what the fuck is this tracking? This single goddamn move is the result of nearly all of my failed attempts against Kurt. It is so rough, but this time, I'm rougher. I should get some moisturizer for that, but we got him! This gives us Zantetsuken. Similarly to Stun Impact, Zantetsuken has a 30% chance to be your ground finisher. The difference is that Zan will deal about 250% of the enemy's current HP. Just assuming they aren't resistant to gravity, since this also does the same damage. It will not help us against the next bonus boss we fight, Phantom. This is a unique fight because it's one of the few times in the series that the spell Doom actually shows up. Phantom will cast Doom on Sora and the Clock Tower, so to stop it from killing us, we have to cast Stop on the Clock Hands. So make sure your magic is big for this one, and you're well stocked on MP restores, you're gonna need them. The other part that's unique is that Phantom can only be damaged by specific elements depending on the color of his heart. What's annoying is that you can only attack him when the heart is visible, and there's nothing you can do to speed up the process of him getting the heart out. You just have to wait and avoid one of two attacks Phantom can do. Though I say that like they're not dangerous, they are, especially this one. I know I keep saying it, but use Arrow for God's sake. And, well, I know it's brief, but that's all there is to Phantom. I do like the idea of it being vulnerable to elements and having to keep using Stop on the Clock Tower, but yeah, it's not interesting. I guess him flying around looks pretty funny though. But defeating Phantom upgrades Stop the final time, giving us Stopka. Now I can stop the world. And after a good amount of material grinding once again, we finally go back to Olympus to do a gold match. Fight the Ice Titan again, but this time for real. The Ice Titan is one of the most obnoxious fights in the game. First of all, do not get close to him. The Ice Titan loves to stomp on the ground, and it does a lot of damage and is unblockable, so keep your distance. Instead, we have to deflect the ice bullets he fires back at him. At first, you might think to use Aragos since, it'll deflect the shots back automatically. Unfortunately, Square Enix thought of this, and it turns the bullets into unblockable ones if you do that, so we're gonna have to do this manually. Jumping and doing about 2 attacks then landing is a pretty reliable way to deflect them. You can block like I did, but because Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't let you block again, you'll likely get hit afterwards. That's not the only thing you have to worry about. Sometimes the Ice Titan will slam his hand to the ground, which causes ice pillars to spawn near you. Keep moving, use dodge roll, and you'll usually be safe. Once we deflect enough of the ice bullets, the Ice Titan will fall over and we can finally wail on him for a bit. Ragnarok is very strong here, as is Firaga, since it can be pretty difficult to hit him with air combos. But don't stay around for too long because, of course, he'll punish you when he gets up. And now he has cool new moves, like summoning ice blocks from above us, which I'm pretty sure are designed to catch you for trying to block the ice bullets. Speaking of said bullets... Surprise, it's a bullet hell now! It's funny looking back on this footage and seeing how much the game is screaming at me to deflect the bullets with attacks rather than blocking, but the fatal flaw with your boy is sometimes he gets extremely nearsighted with his problems. Speaking of problems, make sure you're watching the Ice Titan a little more closely. He took some breath mints and he really wants to share his new minty fresh breath with Sora. This will freeze you in place, so jump to avoid it. But there's one more move the Ice Titan has when he's at low health. Diamond Dust. That's it. That's the amazing Final Fantasy attack Diamond Dust. That was just a bunch of particle effects. And really, there's nothing else to talk about. It's just 10 minutes of deflecting bullets and getting frozen. I won't lie, it's really not that fun. While I'm all about turning an enemy's attacks against themselves, the fact that we do dick all for damage when the Ice Titan's actually vulnerable does not feel like a good reward for playing well. This fight really came out here and said, I hope you like doing the same thing for 10 minutes. Hey, at least the cutscene for beating him was fun to watch. I broke part of his foot and now he doesn't know what to do anymore. Oh. judgment. Well, that was stupid. But not only that, we also get the diamond dust keychain. And while I think this keychain just looks horrible, stats don't lie. This is the best magic keychain in the game. But we've had our fun. It's time for the grind again. Whee! There's not much left to cover in terms of unique fights, just lots of grinding. Thank you, Squeenix. There's one more thing we have to talk about, and that's the jungle slider minigame, baby. Get those fruits, Sora. You're not coming home tonight. That's what I thought. During this entire grind, we got up to level 80. The most important of the skills we learned were Slapshot and Blitz. Slapshot is an attack Sora uses when he's close to an enemy, replacing his normal shitty swing with a quick uppercut. Extremely helpful and has a higher crit chance, so, put it on. As for Blitz, it's a ground finisher, but since it scales off of strength, I didn't use it and stuck with Ripple Drive instead. But for you strength builds out there, give it a shot. But with the grind getting close to being complete, you'd think I would wait until we got the ultimate weapon. But why would I be sensible when instead I can fight one of the most difficult bosses in the game? Time to fight Lance Bass from NSYNC. That's really Sephiroth's voice actor in this game, by the way, just a reminder. Sephiroth is, as I'm sure most of you have expected, a nightmare to fight. He hits hard, has big reach, tons of magic attacks, multiple phases, and he is completely immune to your magic. Tony, play the death montage, please. Cool boss. A cool boss. So how do we not end up as a Sora-colored paste on the floor? Well, a lot of things. One of the best strategies during the first phase is spamming Strike Raid. Since you're invincible while using it, and it can hit from long range, you can chip away at Sephiroth's billion health and be completely safe. You can keep this up until around his second phase, where the fight really begins. During the second and third phase, Sephiroth can teleport behind you and you'll hear him say, "Heartless Angel." Immediately attack him before he finishes this, or else you're dropped to 1 HP. The rest of this phase can be just as brutal since Sephiroth loves to run around and quickly attack. I'd advise still using Strike Raid here since most of Sephiroth's attacks are, you guessed it, unblockable. Though even the ones that you can block tend to stagger Sora, so you'll usually get hit by a follow-up even if you do block. But the most deadly attack Sephiroth has during this phase is Wild Dance. While I was able to block it, using Strike Raid or avoiding the damage outright with Leaf Racer also works well too. Really, the pattern of spamming Strike Raid is just kind of a fucking constant throughout a lot of these bonus fights, but we'll get there. Finally getting to phase 3, Sephiroth pulls out the big guns and uses Supernova. This summons fucking meteors from the sky that then spin around him while he makes a spirit bomb, and after a while, he'll throw it at us. The best way to deal with this is, well, the way we dealt with everything. Leaf Racer and Strike Raid. I find it incredibly funny that Sephiroth, the big boy that everyone knows from Final Fantasy, has all of these super flashy attacks with tons of different things they designed for you to deal with, and you just shut off your brain and use Strike Raid or Leaf Racer to ignore it. Honestly, during all this bullshit with Phase 3, Strike Raid saves the day, and that's it. We did it. We beat one of the most difficult bosses in the entire game. Now, I made it sound simple, but it took me over an hour to get here. Tony, play the death montage again, but faster this time? The Being Sephiroth makes him explode and gives us the One Winged Angel keychain. It's very strength oriented and actually reduces your max MP by 2. This can actually reduce your MP to 0 if you're doing a 0 XP run and didn't select the Dream Rod at the start, by the way. But hey, it can do big crits, so if that's what you're looking for, there you go. And as we leave, Cloud confronts Sephiroth finally. Sephiroth, of course, goads Cloud to give into the darkness, which Cloud, of course, refuses. They then do a sick air battle and disappear. See you guys in Kingdom Hearts 2. Well, time to wrap up the grind. And just 30 minutes after being Sephiroth, I did it. I finally got enough materials and acquired the Ultimate Weapon, and it is glorious. Ultimate Weapon, craft it. We did it. Oh my god, there it is. Alright. Yeah, there it is. Look at that big ass thing. It's so big it's clipping through the floor. Yeah, this is basically just a sword with a bunch of shit welded to it, basically. Keyblade is so badass. It's great. I'm glad I took the time to get it. Donald and Goofy will not be getting their stuff because if I keep doing that, if I keep doing this, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. With that completed, there's only one more thing to do. Grind all the way to level 100. Yeah, boy, let's go. The fastest way to do this is to either run through the Hades Cup or to go to the Gizmo shop in Traverse Town. I ended up doing both, but I usually prefer doing the Gizmo shop the most.
Now we have had that discussion before. We did it. We did it. We're level 100. It's all over. We don't have to do this anymore. Get me the fuck out of here. Oh my god. Get this shit off me. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're finally free. It's over.
Getting all the way to level 100, we learn a lot of extra skills, with the most important being Second Chance at level 90. This allows us to survive a lethal blow with 1 HP, and it's one of the best defensive skills in the entire series, so turn it on. We also learn Vortex, and don't use it. It's basically a worse version of Sliding Dash that has no range, doesn't move you very far, and is learned extremely late into the game regardless of which dream weapon you choose. I'm pretty sure Squeenix knew it was bad, so that's why they gave it to you so late in the final mixed versions of the game. But with this achieved, we have one final thing to do. An important fight that foreshadowed the events of the future. Returning to Hollow Bastion, we enter a room we fought Maleficent in. There we find someone wearing a black coat. They walk through us, having Sora experience his own memories in a quick jumbled up mess. Sora then demands to know who the flipping flip this guy is before Goofy speculates it might be Ansem. You know, despite this happening to him, but whatever. While the person comments saying that the name is familiar, he refuses to elaborate and attacks us instead. They even say Sora is like them. Incomplete. What does this mean? Well, you'll just have to find out next time on Kingdom Hearts Z. For now, we have a boss fight. This is Unknown, a mysterious figure that's so mysterious they didn't even give them a voice actor. And if you play Kingdom Hearts 2, you know who this is. But in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's very similar to how Sephiroth played out, just a bunch of projectiles on the field and you've got to deal with them. Not only that, but Unknown also loves to block you with this shield if you try to attack them, and usually follows up with a combo with their legally distinct lightsabers. And the scariest move they have is grabbing Sora with electricity and inflicting a status that changes our commands. We have to hit the command that says release to stop it from draining our health. Hitting shock damages and stuns us for a few precious seconds. Yet, despite this, and the fact that Unknown has a million billion projectile moves, I beat him in under 11 minutes. How? Strike Raid, baby! That's right, you thought this final secret boss would be difficult and have a whole 2 pages of script dedicated to him? Nope, Strike Raid! GG, shake my hand! With Unknown's defeat, they compliment Sora on a fair fight that he totally didn't spam one move. Sora asks him who he is, but they, of course, just refuse to answer us, warning that the Kingdom Hearts series is far beyond our comprehension right now. Unknown says they're simply a hollow shell before they disappear, giving us the final Ansem report and the EXP necklace, which I could have used hours ago, but since we finally got all of Ansem's reports, we give them a read. It is very interesting to see Ansem's thoughts about the Heartless and how he's the one that made the artificial Heartless machines. Thanks, jackass. But the most important entry is the final one. It asks the question of what happens to one's body when it loses its heart. It may appear to vanish, but it's actually appearing in a different world in another form. A being that is neither light nor darkness, and a mere shell of its former self that Ansem says cannot truly exist. He dubs this shell Nobody. Kingdom Hearts 1 is a very jank game. However, it is still a blast to play through. While it might be jank and the grind for the ultimate weapon is mind-numbing and made me want to go bald, I had a great time playing this game again. It's extremely interesting to see a game series I hold so dear have such a humble beginning, especially considering the nightmare of webs I still have to untangle as we go along in this series. I'm really not looking forward to that, but hey, at the end of the day, I had a good time. I will say, this project took far longer than I expected. It wasn't just due to the scope becoming far larger and out of my control, but the combo of me struggling with my mental health, a massive heat wave during the production, and a lot of stress from a group project I was in. All of this completely killed my ability to, well, exist. I guess I'm a nobody now. Seriously, if you can, I highly recommend taking time to take care of your mental health. It has done me wonders. But we're back again, and I'm glad to be working on stuff once more. It's really funny, you know that quote I had at the start of this? Yeah, this one. I made this to have something like the opening quote of Kingdom Hearts 1, yet, ironically, it kind of became indicative of the entire journey I went on while creating this video. Life is strange that way, yeah? But I'm back, and hopefully, The next Mega Man X game I work on will be a shorter project than this was. I mean, I know it will be. Mega Man X doesn't have hours of cutscenes I have to talk about. But now, I'm going to take a rest. I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. I'm rooting for you.